Everybody, welcome to the Jumper Punch. Hold on, what's going on here?
The Jumper Punch. Fourever Rivals, mate. Fourever Rivals. What's going on, Rocco? Rocco's got delusional.
I'm gonna say, no, bloody no, it's fucking. All right, you gotta let me talk because you're already starting to give me the fucking shit already. All right, I'm telling you now. Some voiceover just came over my thing, and I could hear something else. So.
Oi.
You can hear that.
Yeah, we're waiting for you, Rock, mate. What's going on?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, of course we can hear you.
Yeah.
No, because I'm getting feedback.
What drugs you on, mate?
I'm getting. You gonna let me talk? I'm getting feedback. Nah, something's wrong, man. It's
Well, the viewers can see us. Jay is on. Jeff is on. He's correcting you by saying Fourever Rivals. How are we, Jeff? Yep, no.
Are we on, boys, or not?
I think
yeah,
we are.
We're on.
We're on.
We're on, baby. We're on.
Just relax, everyone.
Oh, we're going to switch it off if you keep doing that.
Well,
Can you hear me now?
It's the jacket.
Yeah.
It's the wave in the jacket. The bomber's jacket, mate.
We can hear you, Rocco. Do you want to?
All right, there's some technical problems here, guys. Because what's happening is I'm talking, and then I'm hearing you 3 or 4, 5 seconds later. I'm hearing myself again.
Mm-hmm. What's going on there? Maybe we need to go back on again. Go out and then come back on again.
No, you can't do that.
Right. Okay. Well,
No, you can't do that.
okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing it come back delayed, Rock. I'm hearing the delay on your end come through it. Come through here.
Yeah, I can hear it too. What's going on, mate? I don't know what to do. I do not know what to do. This is funny, man. I don't know what to do. I'm just playing around with it now.
Well, you haven't got us on YouTube, have you?
No. Wait a sec.
Could be a delay. Who knows?
Okay, what about now? Is that better?
Yeah.
We can hear you, mate.
Yeah. You've been fine on our end the whole time.
All right. It stopped. I don't know what I did, guys, but I've just fixed it. I clicked a million buttons and I've just fixed it. So sorry about that. All right, let's start. Everybody, welcome to Fourever Rivals.
A 4-minute delay there, Rocco. A bit of a delay.
Man. You know what? That was a bit like the fucking Carlton delay. Here he goes. I've been dreading Mark all week. Jesus Christ, I didn't like knowing. Look at him. Look at his big smile, man. You look like the Joker over there, mate. What is wrong with you? All right. Thanks, everyone. Everyone's giving me advice here. Tap the window and that. Yeah, I know. I think I fixed it. So we're all good. All right. And just a public announcement. I'm a little bit sick, so if I cough a bit, I'm sorry, guys. All right, but I'll try to bloody soothe the throat because I'm going to get stuck into you blokes very soon.
Drink some tea there, mate. It was probably all that yelling that you did, hoping the Blues would get over the line.
Hey guys, something tells me there was a lot of yelling between Rocco and Manny tonight, and Mark is already annoying me. Mark is already annoying me. I can just see, oh yeah, look at him. Don't you worry, mate. We're going to start a new, mate, and just quietly. And well, let's get to Quinny there. I think Quinny's been getting off the hook lately. I reckon it's time that after the result of the weekend, mate, I think it's time that he cops his due course tonight. What do you reckon, guys?
I'm kind of glad your voice is fucked, Rocco. It's a bit Hopefully, it
It's not
slows you
gonna-
down a couple of pegs.
And all I need is for the dumbass in the corner there and the other dumbass on the top there to say something stupid, and I'll fucking go off, mate. So it's not going to stop me. I'll tell you right now. All right.
That's what we want, mate. You're a
all right,
soldier.
No, we'll
Thank
soldier
you.
on because unlike the Blues, I always show up, and unlike your bloody Collingwood fucking trollers who've been trolling all the shows, what a bunch of losers they are, man! Trolling shows. How much of a loser do you have to be to change your name, no regrets, and start trolling other shows? What a loser you are, Jesus!
What's he change his
Christ.
name to? What's
Huh?
he change his name to?
Last night he changed it to some other one, then he started, and someone put me onto it, and he was just trolling, and I don't mind the banter, but the trolling is just, if you're going to troll before the game. I didn't hear anything from Collingwood supporters, nothing all week. All of a sudden, bloody Saturday morning, everybody's out in the fucking bout. Like, get stuffed, you bunch of dogs, you are. Anyway.
Oh, quite achievers we are, mate. Quite achievers.
Shut up. You don't
there's
start either, mate. Don't get me started on you, you bloody dog. Man, you want me to show everyone the bloody messages you're sending the next day? Like, already. I didn't hear from him for the first 3 weeks, and all of a sudden, you're just sending out messages like there's no tomorrow. You're a fair weather supporter, no membership person. I'm sick. I don't even want to talk to you anymore.
That's
Shut
so
up.
good. Come on, baby, make it
Hey.
hurt so good.
There we go. How are all the champions? Good win, Manny. Carl, don't bloody encourage him, mate. Like, don't encourage him. Who we got here? Jeff, how are you? Lana, she's a beautiful lady, Lana. How are you, Lana? Petra Khan, she's on everything. Good. Manny, good win by the Pies. Great contest all night. I'm telling you, don't encourage him, people. Do not encourage him. What's
don't
Quinny?
encourage me. Do not encourage me.
Put Quinny. Oh, yeah, put Quinny up to the top. You belong at the bottom. You know what it is? I'll tell you how this works, right? It depends on who comes on, is where they go onto the screen. And unfortunately, that's how they fell today. But you're right. You should be at the bottom. What else we got? We got Darren here. Queen Jew a cucumber. What does that mean? Anyone know?
No, that's a new one to me, but I hope it's nothing bad.
What else we got?
What's going on, Quinny, mate?
Hey, Mark, stand up if Essendon tested positive. There you go, mate. We're talking. We're gonna be talking about that too. Actually, we got some footage, haven't we? We got some footage of the Essendon players this week. You didn't know, did you, Mark?
Yep.
We got footage of the Essendon players this week. We'll have a quick look.
Show them.
All right, what we're going to do is, before we start this, hey, to our sponsor, Corton Security Doors and Blinds. Does everyone want to hear it? Even with my shit throat, everyone want to hear it?
If you're willing to put yourself through it, Rock.
I'm going to put myself, because this is what I do for the team. And if you want your family to be safe, Corton Security Doors and Blinds is the place. A Don supporter, Fourever Rivals, and a really top mate. And don't forget to ring 83394848. And don't forget to ring 83394848.
Oh, that's brilliant. Brilliant.
Tell us quickly about this, Marco. What have you got for us this week?
Yes, Bello, mate. Give us a call, mate, on 83394848 for a free measuring quote. Unfortunately, guys, at this stage, I cannot hold that 15% off on.
Well, you did do it for 4 weeks.
The Rocco inquiry, but I'm still happy to obviously offer the 10% off. Say you mention the Fourever Rivals or the Jumper Punch. Happy to offer the 10% discount on that. And also just search us on Facebook and like us, and jump on and have a look at some of the service that we offer. As you can see on the screen there, we do all security doors, blinds, plantation shutters, outdoor zip track blinds, roller shutters. We'll do massive packages for homes, new homes or renovated homes. Just give us a call. Obviously, northern suburbs, happy to help you out, and you'd be quite surprised how much you can save just by mentioning Fourever Rivals or the Jumper Punch, and you'll get definitely 10% off of the proposal. Give us a call.
I love it, man. You should be on TV, mate. You are absolutely superb. Now, what we're going to do is, I did make a bet, and unfortunately, I didn't go through with my bet this week. But I've been under the weather. But I will do it. I will go swimming in the ocean, and we will video it. So that's going to happen. But I was thinking you were a good bloke, and you gave everyone 15% off in the last month, which is good. But I reckon there might be round 13, Essendon Carlton. I reckon there might be a bit of a bet going on there. Maybe if we win, you could give us a little bit more of a percentage if we win, which I think we will. So I think there might be something going on in round 13. What do you reckon, Marco?
Oh, mate, that's round 13, mate. Just give it a break, Rock, mate.
No, I'm just getting ready for your. No, I'm talking about the court and security blinds. I'm saying,
yeah.
I appreciate the 15% off. Don't get defensive. I'm trying to fucking help you here, mate. I'm just trying to help you. I'm just saying, when it gets to round 13, I reckon once we win, you offer the current supporters more percentage because
maybe, possibly. We'll have to negotiate.
All right, that's all I'm saying, mate. Don't get defensive.
No, we'll have to obviously negotiate that towards round 13, but there's plenty more football to go. So it might be more and it might be less. It just depends. So anyway, we'll see what happens at that time, Rock.
What do we got here? Look at this. What a tripper, Rocco. He's sick and he still sings. Of course, man. I do it for the team, mate. I sang the song, mate. What's going here? Disappointing, Mark. You won't do my house in Darwin. What's wrong with you, Mark?
Well, yeah. Honestly, if you want me to do a quote in Darwin, I'm happy to for you to offer flight and accommodation. I'll be happy to go for the week, mate. Jason, lock it in. Let's go, buddy. I'll come up.
Oh, yeah. What are you doing? What's this one? When we beat the Dons, the winning margins is a percentage off. Fuck, we could get 100% off, mate.
Take it easy.
Quinn, are you doing schoolwork? You keep looking to the side there. What are you doing?
It may as well be schoolwork. I'm just defending myself when we talk about the Freo game coming up. So, basically, it's kind of schoolwork.
Hey, Quinn, while we're on that topic, because of the way you guys are playing at the moment, is there perhaps a possibility that they might use Punt Road as the place for you guys to be playing in terms of, because you're not getting many supporters going there at the moment, mate?
Well, you can't have anybody at Punt Road at the moment, but no, I don't think that'll ever happen.
What's the difference? You'll get at least 1,000 people there.
You must be working on your fucking comedy routine there,
Manny goes bang. Manny, that's all right. We're still happy with our close to 95,000 members, even for a shit side. So we're doing all right.
Well, you're doing all right.
Also, Darren Thomas, I just understood what your comment about the cucumber was before, man. That's a good one. It just clicked. It's naughty though. It's a naughty one.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I've got the anti-cold right here, mate. So it's all happening. Anyway, let's get into it because I'm sick of now. I'm not going to make... What's that? That better not be... don't just start. Anyway, this week, you know what we did? I had to go down to Scumsville to go and do rocking all over the burbs, yeah? Does everyone want to have a look at what happened? And I did run into someone there. Does everyone want to have a look at this? Let's have a quick snippet before we go. Let's go and have a look at this.
G'day, Rocco. Welcome to Collingwood, mate. Since you're in the suburb of Collingwood, I might take a little bit of time just to take you through the paths of Collingwood, mate.
We've just come down Smith Street, we've come and we met Enzo.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Believe this, I just found Quinny. Hey, Quinny. G'day, mate. How are you? Keep that smile up, will you, mate? Keep that smile up.
There's something about 2 metre Peter.
2 metre.
2 metre beater.
2 metre Peter. Is a bit of a tongue twister for us.
It's a tongue twister.
Collingwood supporters, eh?
What about that soft player Dacos? What do you reckon about him?
This week, especially, is always on TV.
There you go. That's a little bit of a snippet. And we've got a bit more to show you later. So Manny had to pop his head in there and come and see me down Collingwood Smith Street. There's there's a few brain cells missing down there. Just quietly let you know. I mean, there's some people we couldn't even put on camera. Manny.
Tell you what, there's some characters there. If you think you're having a bad day, or if you think the life is tough, spend half a day down Smith Street, Collingwood, and I can tell you what, you will think to yourself, gee, my life is absolutely fantastic. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing experience. So we've got some more of that to show. All right, let's get into this because we've got some big things to talk about. Let's just wait to see before we do that. Manny obviously went past the local AFL shop to buy a scarf. He did. He had nothing. I actually had to go and buy a scarf for him. He was
turn it on.
Yeah. You must be on the anti-Collingwood side of Smith Street. What do we got? Something with Quinn. Sorry, Quinn, but tonight is your night. Tigers suffering just like the Lions. Yeah, they are suffering. I'm telling you, mate. I've been thinking about it. You've been getting away with it. You had one win for the year, mate.
Flying under the radar.
Manny is underrated. Yeah, I think he plays on us bagging each other the whole game, and he just quietly sneaks out the back. I think it's time. Looks like a dump, I'm telling you. Smith Street, mate. It's a special place, Collingwood there, wasn't it? All right, let's get into this, and let's do this. Bang. All right, so we've got some footy stuff to talk before we get into the games. I'm sure everyone wants to get into the Collingwood and the Essendon, West Coast and the Richmond. Who did Richmond play? Fremantle. Yeah, everyone wants to get into that, and we will very shortly. But let's get into some topics that I thought were interesting during the week. I'm going to start it off. Women's round, domestic round. What was it this week?
They did a moment of silence before every game for all the women that have been.
That's good for the women. The only thing I got to say about that is about did they what did they do with Wayne Carey? They've stopped him from getting legend status this week because of what he's been done. All right, so everyone knows about that. My point about that is, should players not be inducted into legends because of what they've done in the past, or should it be just what they do on the field?
Yeah.
All right, don't be scared, man. Don't be scared, mate. Don't worry about what people got to say or if you're going to be looked at wrongly, man. Just tell us your opinion.
Yeah, it's a very sentimental type of topic because you could say this and say that, and people might be offended to it. But I personally think that Wayne Carey should be inducted in the Hall of Fame, just from his footy experience. Obviously, what he's done off field affairs and whatever the case may be. That
I don't think it was the sorry, Mark. First of all, Lana, you're correct. It's domestic violence towards women. I couldn't get it out, but that's what it was for, and it was a great cause, and it's fantastic. My point is, should it be inducted? I don't think it was for the affairs and that. I think it was for the
what's Ben Cousins got to do with all that then? So obviously he's not being inducted as well. Because there's some issues regarding maybe, I don't know, drugs or whatever the case may be. So if it's a footy act and you're playing footy, you've got to separate those two concepts of it. but I think Carey should be inducted in the Hall of Fame. As for Cousins, I don't believe he should, due to the fact that majority of the time that he's been playing on the field, he was probably on some form of drugs, some kind of not enhancing drugs, but some speed or whatever the case may be to get him going. So I see that a little bit different as Wayne Carey as to Ben Cousins to be inducted, because I think Ben Cousins was actually taking drugs while playing. Wayne Carey wasn't doing anything wrong while he was playing. So that's my thought on it.
But before the rest of you could do, sorry, that's a bit rich from you. Talking about that, no player should be in the Hall of Fame for drugs. That means no Essendon for the last 20 years can't go in. So that's a bit rich from you. But
I haven't.
Look, there was everyone's been. Oh no, sorry. What's going on? I'm keep missing the thing. Everyone's been saying Cousins stalked his ex.
Stalking is different than
the case. I think that's, and Lana says it too. Cousins was stalking his ex, which is a fair enough. So if that's the case, so because of domestic violence, and now they won't get in. Well, yeah, that's it. So your opinion is for that they shouldn't be going in, Mark, because
Well, I think Wayne Carey should.
What about Cousins? He did exactly the same things. He stalked his ex. So should he then now should because of that?
So is the induction about is the induction about the abuse, or is it about just them being as players? I don't know. I don't get it.
This is what I want to talk about.
12 months time or 2 years time, what happens then? You're gonna induct Wayne Carey all of a sudden? What? I don't get it. So from here onwards, I believe he should be inducted. He was such a fantastic player, courageous player. What he done off the field, yes, totally don't agree. Ben Cousins, to me, I believe while he was playing, he was taking drugs, which was proven in some of his documentaries. So to me, I felt that was a bit of cheating in there, involved. But I'm not going to make accusations here. I'm not, the head honcho. But Wayne Carey, yes. Ben Cousins, maybe no.
All right, it doesn't matter individual, or it does, because I'm going to talk about someone else soon after you have your point. Once I hear from the guys at the bottom, but again, like people have been saying, Jason said he disagrees. We look at players both off and on the field, and that's what's happening. Okay. You're absolutely right, Jason. That's exactly what's happened. The question is, should we? Is this an award for your on-field, or are we going to now take them as a whole and then judge them? Quinn?
Yeah, I've got conflicting interests. Not interests. I've got a conflicting sort of idea about this. Like, I mean, let's look at example, obviously over in the States, but let's look at O.J. Simpson. What does everyone remember O.J. Simpson for?
An actor.
They remember him for
highway chase, wasn't it? That highway chase, being arrested by police for
the
yeah, we all know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. And that for me, it's like obviously he was a superstar athlete as well, but nobody thinks of that, and it's on torn because obviously you want the legends of the game and the freakish talents, of the game. We want that talent recognized and celebrated, but at the same time, obviously people can't. It's very hard for people to differentiate the two. And I think if we're celebrating someone like Wayne Carey, for example, with all the things that he's done and all the things that he's been accused of, it's, I don't know, if depending on who you are, it is sending mixed messages. So I am torn because at one point I do want to see them celebrated, but the other point, what they've done off field as well does tarnish their reputation. And it is that reputation that also gets inducted into Hall of Fames and legend statuses and all of that sort of stuff. So I'm still torn. I don't actually have a set decision, which is probably a weak answer to all of that, but that's sort of where I'm at.
Lana comes up again with a good point. Time heals and timing is everything. And it's absolutely right. And and not the right time for Carey and Cousin, particularly this round. And I think that was the whole thing, you know, like because it was this round and because of what Carey's done, it would have definitely looked stupid. But yeah, what about you, Manny?
Well, first and foremost, I'm against domestic violence.
Well, man, I don't think we have to say that. I think we're all against it.
I understand that. But what my point is, the AFL needs to lead by example. And this is what they're doing right now. You know, they may be saying, you know what, yeah, on the field, this guy was a superstar. You know, Wayne Carey was labelled as the king, if I'm not mistaken. So on the field, he was an absolute superstar.
Player, there's no doubt.
You know, brilliant player. But he did a couple of things that, you know, the AFL is saying, well, you know what? Yes, you've done this, but you're not warranted to be able to achieve that sort of status, if you want to call it. So, as Lana said, you know, they've got to lead by example. So for them right now, it's, you know what, you know, time will heal for some, for others it may not. But right now, we've got to lead and show that we are very adamant on what we want, and we don't want to, in any shape or form, say that, okay, you know, you've done what you've done, but it should be okay. So, you know, it's one contradicts the other, and, you know, the AFL's got to do what they've got to do. It's like players who are, you know, with illegal substances. You know, the AFL knows that, and the AFL, you know, hides a lot of things under the carpet in order to try and, you know, getting the bad name, giving themselves a bad reputation. So, you know, at the end of the day, the timing's not right, as Lana said, but, you know, when is the right time? You know, when is the right time? Does that mean that in 6 months' time, we won't have to worry about
I don't know
say,
about 6 months' time. I don't know about 6 months' time, but it'll be like years from now, they'll put him in and time heals everything, you know. So, look, he's always going to – I think Carey was such a good player. He'll always be remembered for what he did on the field. I think he'll always be remembered for what he did to his teammate. I think more than what he did to his girlfriend, to tell you the truth. I think that stands out more than anything, you know. So everyone, it's like, let's be serious. Gary Lyon, he's got this little stinger about him too now. You know, whenever you see him, you'll always say, or him and Billy Brownless, it always comes into your head exactly what he did. You know what I mean? Does that take it away what they did on the ground? This is the question, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, guys. I want the chat. I'm happy with the chat to keep going and give us your opinion about this. But I don't know. But I think, yeah, I think Quinn, you actually put it correctly. What they did on the field is fantastic, but unfortunately, that kind of stuff sticks with you. And AFL legends and all that, they don't want that kind of stigma, you know what I mean? So the other, I'm gonna be a little bit controversial here. Why not? We talked about this last night, so I'm gonna say it again now. I think there's sometimes a double standard in the AFL, because you say there what he did was wrong and that. But what about Dean Laidley? Right? He was put on a pedestal for what he did, and it's got nothing to do with him coming out and changing gender and all that. But they did a magnificent. Marnie Binali is a reporter who did this great interview with him and put Dean Laidley on a pedestal. Do you know he got charged for stalking also? But it's double standard, you know, like it's funny. It's because Dean Laidley has now come out and that, and they want to put him up there. They've forgotten about that. But now with Carey, it's like, no, we're going to bring this one up. I just find that sometimes his double standard is just, it annoys me. That annoys me. You know what I mean? So I don't know what people have got to say. Hopefully I got that right, but I have, because I got the information here. So Peter says it also.
I think Carey and and lately completely two killer fishes here, mate, because you're dealing with a legend in Carey. But lately, yeah, okay, he played. He was.
No, but
he was
what I'm saying is they put
was a
Dean
good player.
Laney on a pedestal. They put him on a
Why?
pedestal. Oh, sorry, him, her. I don't want to. They put Dean Laney
But
on a pedestal
Why?
because of the
Why?
because of the transgender and all that. You know,
Oh, the
changing.
transgender's good. Yeah, okay, but as a football player, yeah, he played good football and he coached.
But
But I
why are we
wouldn't put him
putting
as.
on the agenda? Because he did
I
exactly
don't know why they're putting him up there.
the same thing as Wayne Carey. He got charged for it. Why hasn't that come out and said no,
That's
no,
correct.
no?
Yeah, that's right.
We don't want
Yeah.
to make you the face of whatever because you know you've done that. Why didn't they do that?
Doesn't suit the narrative, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I know, and this is the issue. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying about, of course, Carey's a better footballer and all that. But what I'm saying is Carey's getting punished for something, right?
Yeah.
And Dean Laley's getting praised for something, and he's done. I don't know if it's exactly the same thing, but he's done something, you know.
Yeah. But I don't. I just can't see the two of them being in that same level. Nowhere near it. Obviously, it's speculation and something to talk about in the media that gets people going. But Carey and Laley, completely.
No, but again, you're missing the point, Mark. I'm not talking about putting them as the same as a footballer. I'm talking about them being like criticized or taking awards. One gets put up on a pedestal, one gets put down, and they've done the same thing. Why? Like, let's be serious. This is society now. This is what's happening. You know what I mean?
You got to be careful. You got to be careful what you say and do nowadays, Rock. Because
of course we're going to be careful too. But before you go on, wait a sec. I did see something I wanted to put up. All right, okay, keep talking. I'll find it. The biggest difference. Wait, Davey, who the fuck are you? Rocco's the speaking about the Blues. You know, if you watch this show, we do AFL talk and then we go into what? Don't go supporting. We do AFL talk and then we talk about our team. Is that correct? So we go talking shit. I'm not missing anything, mate. We do this and then we go into that. I'm sitting here facing everyone. Here he goes. We'll talk about your Spuds too soon, mate, against West Coast 6 points. We'll talk about your Spuds soon. But anyway, let's get back to this point here.
You've frozen, Manny. Are you frozen, man?
No, I'm not. I'm actually getting entertained by this because you know you've got a minority that is fighting for so much attention that it's creating all this uproar, you know? And let's be careful, how we label someone. Let's be careful in case, is whether he's a he or a she or a they or them and whatever, and it's this very small minority that are trying to fight to really let the world know that this is how it works. You know what I mean? So, I respect people's decisions. I respect what people want to believe. If you want to believe that you're a light, you're a lamp, you can be a lamp. You want to believe that you're a tree.
Manny, is this. What's good for the goose should be good for the gander, just quietly. The old saying should be just
that's right.
If it's good for one, it's good for the other. I don't think you should put someone on a pedestal on that because it fits your agenda.
That's right.
But then this
is what the AFL does. The AFL is the biggest corrupt industry in Australia. Yeah? They will do whatever suits them. If it means that it's going to give them the right image, we'll promote it. If it means this and that, and at the moment they're getting it wrong, and they're trying to take a lot of focus over a lot of things that they're doing shit at the moment. Yeah, they're doing shit at the moment. Yeah, this is their way of thinking. You know what? Let's try and do things the right way. Let's show the world that we're leading by example here. Yeah. So that's what it's all about.
At the end of the day, and I just want to make this clear that mate, what they did over the weekend for domestic violence and the other stuff is great. It brings awareness to everyone. It's a fantastic thing. You know what I mean? Our point now is if we go back to the core of it, should what you do outside the game affect your legend status and that, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? It's almost like, it's not like, but you know, like the best and fairest. Should they almost take away the fairest part of it? People these days now, you're getting suspended for the dumbest things, correct? Like, it's not like the old days. Like, it's really some really minute stuff, and that could affect your Brownlow. You know,
yeah, I'd like that to be tweaked slightly, where the fairest aspect is still around. But yeah, I think the suspension one is a weird one, because, like you said, Rock, you could have a dangerous tackle where you've just driven someone to the ground. They happen by accident. Nobody does those intentionally. You lose the Brownlow because of that. But then on the other hand, you know, you don't want somebody that, you know, who's taking performance enhancers and then wins a Brownlow because of that. That part of the fairest should stay, but I wouldn't mind seeing the suspension aspect of it go, because, yeah, players that should get a Brownlow, especially the way things are going, are going to get robbed of one.
Yeah, 100%. And as we said, like, what do you guys reckon? People getting suspended for, like, the dumbest thing. No one understands. We can't understand what the match review panel, like, decide anymore, and someone could miss out on a Brownlow for just something so silly, you know what I mean? So should it be what happens on the ground, or do they? I don't know.
I like what Wayne just said. You know what, Wayne? This is something that Rocco and I were talking about the other day, that you want to go to the footy and you just want to focus on footy. You want to go to the footy and you want to put all your worries, you know, behind. You know, you think to yourself, you know what, I've had a shit day at work, or I've had a shit day, whatever, and you go into the game and you want to watch the game and you want to have fun. You want to just, and I agree with you 100%. But unfortunately, you know, politics will always come to the game.
Well, this is actually a good point, Wayne, and I wouldn't mind diving into this one too. Like, so it's a distraction. People go to the footy to get away from day. Now, I kind of agree with that. When I go to the footy, I don't want to think about anything. But unfortunately, AFL, because of their you know, like, you know, the whole of Australia, they've got the whole of Australia looking at them. They can use that platform to make awareness to this stuff, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, we're getting something every week but do we want to go to the football and see this stuff, or do we just want to go and watch football? You know what I mean? To me, half the time, I just want to go and watch football. I don't want to go and watch football. When I get to the ground, I don't want to talk about it. But
yeah, it's hard. It's very hard.
No one's talking here. Everyone's like a little bit like quiet here. No one wants to say too much. My son's
I reckon it's just a suggestion here, but I reckon we should start getting rid of the Brownlow. Yeah, It is the best and fairest, but you know, obviously, because these days you've got so many, you know, players, you know, high head tackles and so forth, and they get reported for something that's just not really warranted for. So just get rid of the Brownlow. Most players really don't care, I think, about the Brownlow at this stage. The last probably 10 years, I think. Maybe 20, 30 years ago, yes, best and fairest. But at the moment, because I think because there's so many technical ways of getting reported for stupidity, you know.
I think it's still important.
And you can, well, you know, you could be the best player, you know, in the season and get reported for 1 week for, you know, some.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Well, then get rid of the Brownlow. Get rid of the Brownlow.
No, I don't think you get rid of the Brownlow. I think you got to tweak it, like things said.
Just put the best player. Just put the best player, and that's it. You know, get rid of the best and fairest, like you were saying, Rock, and just have the best player, regardless if they've been suspended or not. Depending, maybe they might sort out what type of you know, suspension it is. But you know,
I agree with you.
Yeah, we love it. We love to sit there and watch the red carpet. You know, we like to see the lovely ladies walking past and the blokes there and that. But you know, it's not the do or end all, mate. At the end of the day, the players want to win a grand final, and maybe change it to, you know, the best player of the season.
No, come on, mate. just because you guys were overwhelmed by the drugs and what's his name, Watson, end up giving back the Brownlow. Come on, mate. It's just, you know what? At the end of the day, the Brownlow is part of the AFL.
He didn't give back the Brownlow, man. He deserved that Brownlow, mate. He wasn't caught.
No, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. No,
it does, mate. It's going to come back to him, mate.
I tell you what, you start pumping drugs into me, and I become a Hulk Hogan. Come on, mate.
You just you bagged Cousins, and then all of a sudden you got
Watson's okay.
Watson's okay.
That's a choice. I'm not talking about.
That was a choice. He had a choice. He went at a choice. He had a choice.
I'm not talking about performance enhancing drug. That water and the sun. Look what's happened to the Chinese at the moment. The Chinese swimmers. You know, they're all being accused for taking drugs, but all of a sudden, is it WADA? Is it, it's still bullshit. Anyway,
stop making excuses, man. Stop making excuses, man.
Stop making excuses. Made a choice. He made a choice.
You saying
they all made a choice? They all made a choice. Ben Cousins was doing ice on the weekend. Joe was doing performance enhancers.
I know, but Joe decided to go. Like, why didn't he fucking do it?
What Cousins was doing wasn't performance enhancing either. If anything, that would ruin your performance. So, mate, I reckon what he's done to play the way he did is even better.
That's right. Zaharakis didn't touch it. You know why? Because he's a Greek, mate. The natural Greeks, they're gods. That's it, mate. We're just naturally, gifted. You don't have to worry about taking things like that.
What happened to you then?
Look, don't worry about me. Mine's a long story. But let me ask you something, Mark. Right? What example would you lead, right, by saying, well, you know what? Yeah, I took enhancing drugs. The whole team got charged. We've been proven guilty. We've all gone down here. I mean, you're telling me that, they shouldn't have taken it away from him?
I think, you know what? I think Mark wants to get rid of the grand final and finals because they don't just play in them.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe just.
Maybe we should get rid of that, Mark, because why play finals when you're just not going to see it?
Where are we sitting? Where are you boys sitting? Where are you sitting?
Where were you sitting last year at this time? Where were you sitting last year at this time?
Hey,
where were you sitting last year at this time?
Hey, Mark, you know what's really funny?
Stop it now. Since he wants to get if you want to get smart before we even get to the footy talk, where were you about history? Where were you? You just worried about history. You just talked about it. And now, all of a sudden, you just talked about it. And now you're saying, don't worry about history. Where were you last year? Saying,
where are we sitting at the moment? Where are you sitting? Not about last year.
Yeah, where were you sitting last year? You were exactly in the same position. You were exactly the same position. You were exactly the same position. And what did you do? And what did you do? You shit the bed. You shit the bed. So relax before you get too confident, man. You were exactly in the same position, mate.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Don't worry.
We learned from last year and we'll improve this year.
Yeah. Well, you're in the 8th at the moment.
Manny is the Greek statue. That's had a Greek statue. Maybe in those days they idolized the different sizes statues.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you a quick story.
I've got a 6-pack.
Listen, when my wife first met me, I had a 6-pack. You know what she turned around and she said? I'm marrying a Greek god. 20 years later, you know what she says? I'm married to a goddamn Greek. Okay.
Hey, before we go on, and we'll go on to another subject before we get into the games, but we'd like to say hi to Amy. She was a beautiful. I don't know. You're definitely batting above your average or above your weight there, mate, because she was way too nice. I met her, and I can't believe you. In actual fact, first of all, I can't believe you're married. Right, that's the first thing. I didn't think anyone would ever marry you. And second of all, to have such a nice, I like to say hi to Amy, and the food she gave us. You saw us. We all ate it last night, and it was fantastic. We had like a Greek Easter here last night. Did you see it? And the bottle of wine. So I have to say thanks to Manny.
Thanks, Manny.
No, not for
Thanks,
you.
Manny.
You didn't get nothing.
That's right. Thanks, Manny.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
That's all right, mate. When I'm making my spaghetti marinara, mate, tomorrow, and the ciabatta rolls and the salami and the mortadella, you come and see me.
Mate, everyone wants to see you with the bloody six-pack, man. Oh, we want to see you with the six-pack. Well, watch Rocking All Over the Burbs. And you can see Manny.
That's right.
Everyone's dying, man. I don't know why. All right, so we got any other issues?
Oh, they'll probably the big ones from the week.
No, there wasn't too much going on about during the week. I mean,
no.
Well, I tell you the one thing
Mark,
that
Mark, have you got something? You look like you're about to say something.
No, it's nothing really too important. I think I was a little bit we're always going to go back into the umpires because every week, obviously, there's something to pick on. But there was a couple of decisions last week that I've noticed with the deliberate out of bounds.
You want to do what's your decision?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, not for anything, but there was a couple of decisions. This is watching the Carlton Collingwood game, so I'm not going to mention any other games. But I noticed that there was a couple of players from Carlton that obviously kicked the ball towards the boundary line. It was paid deliberate. And I think the last probably maybe 2 minutes before the sign in the last quarter, Pendlebury.
The last minute. It was actually the last centre bounce. You're talking about Pendlebury when he kicked it out. Yeah, that would have been deliberate.
Yeah, and the umpire said play on. I thought that was, to be honest, I thought it was deliberate out of bounds.
He kicked it 40 metres and there was no one around him. Like, mate,
Correct.
They're giving deliberates when there's players near the ball, let alone that, and they just let that one go. And again, man, this is not saying that we would have won the game or anything because of that. But
no. It's not about the game. It's more about, I think, if it's during the game and they're paying it, if it was just a one-off thing, you give and take 50-50. But I think because during the game, a couple of Carlton players did kick the ball, obviously a little bit deliberately, and it was paid. So the umpires have got to keep that momentum going through the game. You can't just all of a sudden say no. So I was a little bit disappointed about that not being paid.
But it happens always, Mark, and we talked about it. We talked about it. I think when Carlton played Fremantle or whatever. I think there was your game, mate. That last couple of minutes, people go, umpires put the whistle away. And that's what it kind of looks like sometimes. And they're scared to give that last decision because it's a big decision, But it should, to me, I'll keep saying this. I don't care if it's Carlton or if it's anyone, mate. Mate, it should be umpired from minute 1 to minute fucking 120, exactly the same, mate. Like, it doesn't matter, mate. If there's a controversy, mate, you pay that decision, mate. Like, that's it, Like, why should the whistle be put away? Let's be fucking serious here, man. Like, seriously. Like, so I'm not saying, and there's other decisions. Like I said, decisions did not determine the outcome of that game, right? Because decisions during the game, we can look at the whole game and you can find 3 or 4 decisions both ways. Like, even now, and I think Lee Matthews talked about this during the week. What is going on with this holding the ball? No one knows anymore what's going on. I think Malcolm Blight was talking about standing on the mark now. What is this stand? And then a player goes to make like one movement to go and handball. The player on the mark, he goes to move and they give him 50. Come on, man. You're taking away a player's bloody instinct there. Of course, if someone moves, you're going to try to fucking react. And you get a 50, that's a massive penalty for fucking just moving off the mark. And I said it last week. Now, see, I told you my voice is all right now. And then I said it last week with the fucking Cribs one, right? The Cribs one, and with the mate, Cribs goes on the mark. He's got his hands up, right? Fucking McKay runs off, and the umpire goes, "No, I told McKay to stand there." 50-meter penalty. What do you mean, mate? Like, it's ludicrous, man. Some of the decisions.
Well, it's a big penalty, isn't it?
The umpires have been bad this year, mate. They have been bad this year for everybody, mate.
A question that keeps getting, I'm gonna say, a question that keeps getting brought up to me on Tiger Den is, with Richmond supporters, it's a massive sore spot, but they carry on about umpires using common sense. Now, Rocco, that situation you just spoke about there reminded me of it, because there was zero common sense involved with the Harry Mackay and Cripps standing on the mark. That Cripps was clearly just standing on the mark. Let it go. There's no common sense involved there.
How many times
Richmond
do they pull
supporters
players back? Like, just pull him back and go, oh, sorry, it didn't waste any time. Like, anyway, yeah, keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Bring it back. But then Richmond supporters, and even myself, I'll admit, like the harp on a couple of years ago, there was that one where, should have been a 50 after the siren. The umpire didn't pay. And he goes, nah, we used common sense. He probably wouldn't have heard the whistle. We won't pay at 50 meters. How often during a game do they do that still, where they pay 50s, even though on the short happened at your game, 85,000 people at the G, players can't hear a call, but they pay you can clearly see they're not trying to be smart asses. They're just thinking the game's still playing, and they give away 50s. But my point is, common sense, it's either you use it or you don't at all. There's no dipping in and out of when you think common sense should be used. It's either you strict to the law or you don't, or you use common sense in every decision, because it's all over the place.
Yeah, I agree. Just quickly, who's all right? First of all, I was gonna blame my my voice for saying, but you know me, I can't pronounce no names. I fuck up every name. I can't do it. So shut up, Petrakan. You know that I can't pronounce names properly, mate. Jesus.
And there,
I agree, man.
There was a comment here about me trying to take the pressure off him by sucking up your ass about the Pendlebury and that against Collingwood. No. I'm not sucking up Rocco's ass. Rocco,
we'll go for it.
A fantastic friend of mine.
Before you go, you've got
I'm going to give it to Rocco a little bit later on. So watch out. I'm not sucking up his ass.
Hey, you haven't heard from me all week, but again, like the Collingwood trolls have come out all week. If you heard my fucking rant last night, the Collingwood trolls, mate, no one came out during the week, but all of a sudden they've all come out this week. I'm telling you, the worst, weakest piss dogs there are is people who don't put their face and names before and then later on talk about it. Yous are just piss weak, mate. Yous are just all piss weak, mate. Anyway, keep going. Yeah, umpire, what do you reckon, Manny? But you don't go to the game. So actually you're good for this, because you don't actually go to games. On TV, Eddie, you don't go to games, let's be honest. On TV, right? Like everyone knows, man. You don't have to lie. On TV, how does it look with the umpire? Because to tell you the truth, at the ground, it's a bit different, because what happens is, you'll agree.
The ball might be on the other side of the ground. The ball might be on the other side of the ground.
What I'm saying is, have a listen to me before you keep talking way too much. At the ground, what happens is, half the time you don't know what the free kick's for. Is that correct? And then you just wait for the umpire to point, right? And then and you're always favouring your team. That was wrong. And then you go home and you look at it and you go, oh, no, the free kick was there. Why I'm asking you, Manny, because you watch it more on TV, right? Because you'll get the replay and then you'll get it, so you'll know instantly if it was a free kick or not. Is it different watching it on TV? Does the umpiring look as bad on TV?
I don't know about you, Rocco, but we've got massive screens at the MCG where you could see a lot of times the replays. So I don't know what you're on about. The facts are that, as we mentioned earlier on, umpires seem to change the way they umpire when it comes to the last 2-3 minutes. Yeah. And it's like they're afraid to sit there and just say, you know what, that's wrong. Stick to it. Stick to the program. You know what? Who cares whether it's if a player makes a mistake and it's going to cost them, so be it. You know, you had that ballerina, what's his name? That dickhead that plays for Essendon, who dived over the ball. And the worst thing about all that is, that cockhead. When he got asked the question live about what happened, he said, I got pushed. They showed him the replay, right? And all of a sudden they're thinking, fuck, it must have been a Casper the Ghost that pushed him. You know what I mean? Umpires should stick to the rules. If the player does the wrong thing, Call it. Who cares? At the end of the day, it is what it is. I mean, that thing with Collingwood where they kicked the ball and then they threw it back in. No, that should have been a free kick to Carlton. Should have been. But their argument was their interpretation was that the players ran towards the ball. I mean,
but that's bullshit. How many times? Always players run. There was no one. Actually, that Pendlebury one. Anyway, do you know Tiger HQ? Do you know this Tiger HQ, Quinny? Yeah.
Yeah. Not personally, but I know the page. Yeah.
Oh, you know the page? All right, I'll let you go then. You're all right. Yeah, but he's right, man. He probably was the last time. It was the last time you went to the game. Mick McGuire took 7 bounces down the wing.
Can I tell you, I was at that game when Mickey McGuire took that ball and it went past the whole Carlton team. It was like a knife, a hot knife through a bit of butter. And
Mick McGuire was a great Carlton player, mate. He played 3 games for Carlton. You just leave him alone. And one of those games was the light blue jumper. What we were talking about, you put me off there. Yeah. No, that's bullshit, Manny. That free kick for penalty, that's paid 100 times, mate. Like
I agree.
The umpires almost they look for that. They love it. You know, when they're running, they run and then they do the whole. They love doing that. They love the crowd, mate. They love it, you know, like it's just, you know what? A lot of times, this is the problem with our game. A lot of it is on interpretation, and I don't like that. Like, deliberate is interpretation. You know what I mean? Holding the ball is interpretation. You know what I mean? It's all like I know there's a lot of grey areas, but I think some of these things should be removed. Like the deliberate is one of the worst rules we have. It is one of the worst because you see it a lot of times. They're in a pack, right? They're defensive, right? They get the ball. They boot it. Like, what do you want him to do? Like, he's trying to get it away as far away as possible, right? What the umpires or the AFL expect these players to do is to precisely kick the ball in that congestion and get it. Mate, the bloke's just trying to get rid of it. Like, let's not make these players into bloody brain surgeons, man. They're just trying to get rid of it. And then the umpire go, that was deliberate. If that player deliberately tried to do that kick, he's a fucking genius, mate. Like, so sometimes it's just frustrating, you know. But you know what? At a game, we all fall for it now. Because as soon as they kick it near the boundary line and it goes out, the whole crowd screams deliberate. They want it to now. You know,
have you noticed, Rock, that lately, the last probably week or two, the score reviews have really just dropped, man.
Yeah. You know why?
Well,
you know why?
Whatever the reason is, but it's just stopped.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I know exactly why. Because the AFL Association watched Fourever Rivals and they heard our discussion.
They had my discussion, mate, not yours. My discussion.
No, you wanted boundary line reviews and.
Yes.
You want captain
I said that they should do the boundary line because if they're going to start reviewing every single thing,
no, you can't do the boundary line. That's still ridiculous.
Relax.
But
you know why? You know why they're doing it, Mark? You know what they've done? And this is common sense now. This is the first time they use their common sense. What they do is they review every goal. But what they do is they review it on the way to the middle.
Correct.
So instead of like wasting their time, they review it, and then if it has to go back, it just goes back, you know. And that's a smart thing because you've got 30 seconds anyway.
Yeah, but it's changed, hasn't it?
I don't think the rules change. What I think is their interpretation of the way they do it has changed.
They're not going to score review as much as what they did, say, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Which is man. A goal umpire should make a decision.
That's it.
Make a decision and stick with it, right?
Well, I think it was against the Brisbane game where the goal umpire made a decision, right? He called it a goal, right? Ball was going back to the middle. They did the review. They realised that the ball was touched. Thank you very much. The ball
Yeah, and
went
you
back.
bring it back, which is fair enough.
That's
which
it.
is fair enough.
You know what I mean?
We got Christian Perry now. I did meet Christian before the game. So how are you, Christian? I think if I remember you correctly, I met you with your sons. So thanks for jumping on, mate. And the sons did say they love Fourever Rivals. So they're on there. They do score reviews so often because they're not confident. And that's true. What happens is because of the scrutiny on them, like they'd rather like go to the review instead of getting it wrong. And you know what? That's players too. Players too. Players, when they're not playing confident, and I'll talk about this when we talk about Carlton, I'm more scared to make a mistake than take a chance. And when you do that, it affects your game. And I think it's affecting the umpiring. They're scared. They're so scared to make a mistake, they'd rather go to a review. You know what I mean? Where we should be saying, right, make the decision. And like what they're doing now, bring it back. If it's wrong, man. Like at the end of the day, everyone goes, oh, I could have worked. Yeah, it's not as easy as you think being a goal umpire. I'll tell you right now. Not that I've ever done it.
Yeah, but what are the consequences if they make a mistake?
You got lights, you got players who are trying to look, and then all of a sudden you got the AFL telling you better not make a mistake too. Far out.
Yeah, but what if they do make mistakes? What are the consequences? There's no consequences, mate.
No.
That's the thing.
Well, they can't make a mistake because now with the goal review, it'll always get reviewed and fixed up. But the field umpires, they'll just always back them. The other thing is you can't bag umpires too much because what happens is then, you know, like people won't get into umpiring and if you're getting abused, so you've always got to protect them. I do understand that you need them. I do understand. But there should be a little bit of like, you know what I mean, responsibility if you get something like completely wrong. But is that the umpire's fault or is that the instructions they're being given? See, this is the whole thing too. You know what I mean? So you don't know what instructions they're given. Are they saying like now, whenever you see if it's too high, you got to pay it straight away, or let's concentrate in the back?
Yeah.
Silent but deadly.
Who did that?
Salami boy.
Oh, he did it. All right. Oh, I didn't read that. There you go. Look at this. Queen is a ripper fart, silent but deadly. Yes.
I'm just
all right.
There was one thing, Rock, I wanted to quickly touch on. It got brought up in the comments. I'm scrolling back up to it. Tom mentioned it, and it was something I heard on the radio this morning. I actually forgot to message you about. Yeah, it was a bit further up. 8:23, the comment came through. The AFL thinking about introducing premiership rings for winning a grand final. So, in the NBA, you get a championship ring, and the NFL championship ring. The AFL is exploring the idea of a championship or premiership, in our case, ring. I'll give my opinion on it first and foremost. I think Melbourne did it, and I'm pretty sure West Coast did it in 2018. It was player-driven, and they organised their own premiership rings. I think that's fine. Go for it. I don't think the league needs to bring it in as a mandatory thing for every club that wins the flag. I think it's too Americanized. It's not our thing. I think it's good. Let's make the game our own. It already is. Let's not try and change it too much. If you want premiership rings as a club, you can do it yourself. You're free to do whatever you want. They got the money. They can afford to do it. No dramas. Go do it. Done. But I don't want to see it, grand final day or probably be best and fairest night at the time to get the rings customized. I don't think we need it. We don't have the culture for a big off ring with diamonds. And
I don't agree.
We don't need it.
I want to do it.
I've got a ring if you want to see it. I've got a ring if you want to see it.
I don't want to see you. Yeah.
Can I just say that
that's the only ring.
I think the ring could be. I think the ring could be something that perhaps needs to be introduced because there are players who end up playing most of the season, who take a team as far as a grand final, end up having an injury, miss out playing a grand final. They miss out on winning the grand final, right? At least this way, right? They didn't win a premiership medal, but at least the ring could be as a consolation prize, if you want to call it. Yeah, just something to
Not the same,
indicate.
mate. It's not the same, mate. It's not the same.
Could we just give them another medal? Like I agree. I see what you're saying. There's players every year. There's always a heartbreak story every year. Like for me, I look at 2019, Jack Graham. He dislocated his shoulder in the prelim. He played the rest of the game with his dislocated shoulder. I got the boys over the line, but he couldn't play grand final week, and he missed out. He was there all year, didn't play. I would have hated if he got a medal. Right? I think I like tradition as well, though. It's just a bit too bad, so sad. But I don't know if we need to introduce a whole new. The premiership medal is already made out of gold. It's special enough. I don't think. Yeah.
You don't think he deserves a medal? You don't think he deserves a medal?
No, I do. I trust me, I do. I definitely do. Like, and there's nice moments in the game where you look at when was it 2016 when the Dogs won and Robert Murphy wasn't playing, and Luke Beveridge caught him up on stage, gave him his medal. There's nice moments like that where players that do deserve it. My thing is the only reason why I think maybe we don't do it is because there's too many grey areas. Like, how many games throughout the season, or how many moments did you need to have throughout the year to qualify for one of those medals, or do you just give it to everybody? So, unless there's like a prerequisite, you have to play a minimum of 15 games for the season to earn. I'm not sure how they would do it. I think they do deserve it, but I think we're not always going to live in a perfect world, unfortunately. So, but then Gokhan's made a good point here. Probably have to play 80% of the season and maybe a finals game to be eligible for a medal. So, I don't know. It's a tough one because obviously I'd like to see Jack Graham with that 2019 medal, but at the same time, he didn't play. So I'm up in the air about it. But either back to the ring point of thing, I reckon we. Sorry, Jason, I did steal your comment there. But I reckon back to the ring thing. If we're going to do that for players that weren't a part of it, I think we just give another medal rather than like a separate thing altogether. If that makes sense.
Spot on, Quinny, mate. Spot on, buddy.
So I'll give you my opinion.
You're just too nice, Quinn, mate.
Can I just say good evening to Gokhan?
Yes.
The wife and I went a few days ago down to Snitch, Northland, and Gokhan and his crew looked after me. Spot on. Looked after me. The food was amazing, and good evening to Gokhan.
Yeah, Gokhan.
Now, Mark.
It's actually Gokhan. Is a great person, sponsor for the last 2 seasons for us. So, Gokhan, thank you very much. You get down there, you get the 17% off just for being a subscriber. All you got to do is push subscribe, you get 17% off. That's as easy as it gets, man. My opinion on this.
Sorry, Rocco, before you say anything.
You want to take over or what?
No, well, look, I was just going to say, do you think that we should be talking about finals, rings, medals and all that? I mean, you, me and Quinn could probably talk about it, but because Mark hasn't seen finals in a long time, I'm just...
I think Mark will probably be thinking that no one should get premiership rings or finals rings. But anyway, my opinion just quickly before we move on to the footy is this, right? First of all, let's stop making it Americanized, this game, right? We've got certain things in our game that are unique. Let's just keep it, get the ring. See, the problem is with this discussion is you're asking the wrong questions to the wrong people, right? The question shouldn't be to us. Right? The question should be to the player. Would the player want a medal or a ring? And my opinion is they wouldn't, because I've actually spoken to players who have missed out on premierships, interviewed them, and they said they just didn't feel part, even though they played most of the year, they didn't feel part of the grand final team, unfortunately. I spoke to Vinny Catoggio, great player, right? At the time, he played in the 73 grand final. They lost, and then he missed out on the 79. One of our best smalls got injured and missed out. He still goes. They invite him to reunions, and he great mates with all of them. Just doesn't feel like he feels part of the friendship, but he just doesn't feel part of the team, right? Of the grand final team. And he said he doesn't want a medal. So The question is, the players wouldn't want one. I'm telling you now, they would feel. Imagine you play 80%. Imagine you play 16, 17 games, right? And then you get dropped because you're just not up to scratch. They win the premiership, you get a medal, and then you go to the reunion. Like, I would feel awkward.
Yeah.
They're going, oh, you remember the goal I kicked in that, and you're sitting there going,
it's a pride thing. It's a pride thing. You're right.
I don't think they want it.
Yeah, talking from example as well, I know Barmy mentioned the same thing in the comments. He said no player wants a token medal if you're not in the team. I think it might have been maybe 2018 or something like that. Team I was playing for at the time, played the whole season, played first final, maybe even the prelim. Then, like you just said, Rock, wasn't quite up to scratch. I got the arse for the grand final, didn't play. They won. I got given a medal. It was nice on the day. I was like, oh, cool, thanks. It's in the bin. I don't know where that is. I don't care about it. Like, it's not something I look back on and go,
you're not going to hang it up, are you?
No, it's not an achievement for me. You know what I mean? Where last year I played in the winning grand final. I've got that medal hanging up. Like, I cherish that thing because it was an achievement that I made. I don't, and I get it. Like, some players, they deserve, like Vinny Catoggio deserved to be there. You know, he copped an injury. It was unlucky. So maybe they'd be slightly different, but it's true. You don't feel a part of it. And I was the same. We had the grand final celebrations back at the club that night. I was happy for my mates that did play, but for me, I was salty. I'm like, I'd rather be home right now. Like, I don't want to be here. And maybe that's again what I think Manny used the proper word. Then it hurts your pride, and it is a pride thing, 100%. And you know, it does hurt your pride.
And don't you reckon the players, they kind of feel awkward around you too? Like, because I'd feel awkward. So what do you do? Like, oh, hey, Quinny, how you going? Oh, good night. Is it like it just wouldn't feel right, you know? And then
it was weird.
And just ask you a question about that. Just a quick question about that, Quinn. Were you injured, or was it that you weren't named in the side?
Nah, I got dropped.
Okay, so if you were injured, if you were injured and you couldn't play, would you have felt more part of the side then?
Definitely would have felt more part of it, but again, like last year, Elstone Week, we won the flag, and I had a good mate of mine that was injured, and he got injured in the finals, didn't play in the grand final, and he said it was an incredible feeling to see everybody win, but he felt he couldn't help but feeling flat, and and then what ends up happening as well is right. It's a downhill slope because you feel flat, because you weren't a part of it and everyone else was having a great time. They played, they got to soak it up. So you feel flat about that, right? Then you start to feel shit that you're feeling flat, even though your team just won the flag. So then you start beating yourself up for feeling like shit, even though you can't really help it. It is a never ending cycle. And being on the other end of it last year, when I did win and I was speaking to guys that didn't play, it's awkward. You don't know what to say. You don't want to be like, oh mate, how good was that? And they weren't a part of it. So it is a tough one. So I don't know. I think we probably, again, it's probably better off leaving it. But for the question here, what about assistant coaches, etc.? That's a tough one as well. Like, does a goal kicking coach get it? That's a tough one. I mean, it's just the head coach, isn't it, at the moment? But I do think they should.
I think they should. You know why? Because these days now, it's a coaching team. You know what I mean? Because what happens is, I'm telling you, the senior coach really does fuck all. You know what I mean? Because he gets his forwards, he gets his meals, they do it, then they get together, they confirm. When they do selection, it's not like the coach decides everything. They got a committee for it. So I think that's more of a team thing, the coaching now, you know. But the players will be different. And I think Peter Bluebagger said this perfectly, man. It's like getting a participation medal. And I've got one of them right over here. You might as well just have one of these. Thanks for participating. You know, that's what you'll be getting. That's what you'll be getting. Thanks for participating.
What was that for, Rocco? Rocco, what was that for?
That one there?
Yeah.
That was for my efforts in the bedroom last night. Nah,
He
I think it's
enjoyed
a
it that
couple of
much.
years ago. I stirred everyone up because we were playing like rubbish, and I gave the club thanks for participating ribbon, and I said that's what it's like. We're just participating, but that's what it'll be
Yeah.
like. And you know what? Now it's happening in schools. Everyone gets a ribbon. No one's a winner. No one's a fucking loser. Everyone's a participant. You're not learning the skills of winning and losing. You know what I mean? So
It's true. It's true. And just for like as well, I agree with you, Rock. I think it is a coaching team. And for a bit of like a little bit of insight, we had at work today, we had a meeting with one of the assistant coaches, right, at the Doggies, and he was going through a day in the life and like a week in the life of a coach. It is as full on as you would imagine that the head coach's life would be. The day after a game, Sunday morning, he spends 4 to 5 hours rewatching the game, coding it, stopping at moments, writing down all the stats. So much time out of their lives goes into this team as an assistant, as well as the head coach. So yeah, they definitely deserve it. You stud muffin.
Well, Michelle said you stud muffin, go Rocco. Now, unfortunately, I was just a participant. I really didn't know. It's not as good as it seems. All right, listen. I think we've had enough rubbish.
Let's go footy, mate. Let's talk footy. Come on, let's go. And we're talking footy.
We have been talking footy. That's part of footy, but we'll talk about footy here. Let's go into with us, the rivals. All right, let's go into the games. Sorry, guys, for the coughing. I do apologize.
We wish, Quinny.
What's that?
All right, here's the first game.
Yeah.
Idiots, mate. Final score at 12-7-79 to 12-13-85. The MCG in front of, I think it was actually the biggest Carlton Collingwood home and away crowd in history. Check it
What
out.
was it? Was it 86,000 or 88,000?
80, nearly 89. Look at Marco. That's his fucking. That's his photo on his license.
The spud is here.
We'll talk about your game beating bottom of the ladder by 6 points, Marco, in a second, right? So let's just talk about that. So you saw it on TV because you don't go to games, Manny, and you did admit it, you didn't go. And I know you kind of used the Easter Greek Easter. But so what did you?
It was my Good Friday. It was my Good Friday, Rocco.
It was Good Friday.
Look, I was having a chit chat with a very good friend of mine, who's a Carlton supporter, and he said to me, Manny, if Carlton doesn't beat you guys today, he says, we'll never beat you. And I said, well, you know what? I actually thought that Collingwood wasn't going to win this game. And when Carlton was up by, I think it was up by 19 points at the start of that second quarter, I thought, you know what? I think it's going to be a one-way traffic. But having said that, that superstar, that soft player, Nick Dacos.
He's still soft.
Another medal. This bloke just.
Yeah, that's like you're getting a participation medal, another medal. They get a medal every fucking week, mate.
The Richard Pratt medal. Well, look, I think if our kicking was a little bit better, it would have been a different score at the end of the night. Okay,
you've lost Dylan.
Yeah, well, Dylan, look, don't be like that, mate. Don't be like that. All right.
Before you go on, important information, Barmy. Welcome to the YouTube member. Thanks, Barmy. Top stuff, mate. Appreciate it, man. You get your 25% off. I don't know which member you became, but mate, you go into the draw for the $1,000 hamper and all that sort of stuff, and actually go to the link below, and you can actually get your free tokens from Blues Crypto. Keep going, you fucking dud. Go. You saw it from TV. What did you see? Did you see anything?
Well, what can I tell you? We had 15 more inside kickers in that last quarter. That last quarter is what got us over the line. We had 7 more clearances than you guys. We had 11 more contested possessions. You know, our forward line was amazing, but our back line just, you know, but we had inside 50s, 38 to 64. You know, it's when you compare that, you know, the game was won. The game was won by our inside 50s. You know, and I think that I'll go back to that. If our kicking was a little bit better, it could have been maybe an 18, maybe 24 point. You know, at the end it was only a goal difference, and you could sit there and say that we beat you at everything. And there was only one goal. Look, a win's a win. We'll take it. I'm wrapped that we beat you. And I think Carlton at the moment is their worst enemy. Their worst enemy. You guys just didn't look like you had any direction. Reminded me a lot of the game last year when we played just not the second game, that first game. You guys were just kicking and hoping. So in a way, I don't think Collingwood won the game. I think Carlton won the game for us.
Now, first of all, we got Luca. He's from Double Double. I wouldn't be talking too much. You couldn't even get your show up this week because you dumbasses are trying to fucking film it in 4K. And it takes like 5 billion megabytes. What a dumbass. That's the first thing, Luca. And I did point at you and said, I'm coming for you. It's a long season, brother. It's a long season, mate. I didn't see you talking too much before the game. You actually were saying to me that you aren't going to win it. You were scared. Oh, if you're out. And then after the game, you were being a bit smarter. Now, Luca, you're trying to be smart. I saw you after the game. And once I come up to you, you shut up like a little girl and you didn't talk. Right? So don't get too tough on the comments here because I'll come after you. But let's talk about the game. Talk about the game. Yeah. Him and Fab. Fab I almost bashed outside the ground. And your uncle there, tell him to shut up and piss off and come and talk to me after the game. What were we going to say? So the game. I was at the game as I do normally, so I see it differently to you, Manny. You're only seeing like a little screen there, so I saw it differently. I'll tell you one thing that happened. He outcoached it. He worked out a plan for the midfield and he outcoached us. Don't bring out your shit membership because we know you only got it after the thing. You know, you got it after you won. You're the biggest bandwagon supporter there is. So there you go. How many games you been to this year, Manny? How much support? 2 games. You're a user. Anyway, we got outplayed. All I've got to say about this, we got outplayed. We got out-tackled. The tackling, the pressure, just after the first quarter, the pressure just was not there. Something happened. He's done some changes. He brought Williams. Williams is running off halfback. Smart move. Jamie Elliott, decoy, ran him to the back and kept him there. Cut out the run. They cut out the run of Wiedering also. Very smart move. And they covered the middle properly. And then we had no choice but to go down the line way too often. But in saying all that, right? In saying all that, Luca, you offered me donuts. I did. I went and bought donuts for everyone. That's how nice I am after the game, right? Even the Collingwood supporters, I gave donuts to. So at least I did. What was I going to say? Yes. So we played absolutely terrible. I agree. We did not come for the contest. That was absolutely bad. And hopefully we'll learn from that. But just remember something. You played absolutely superb, Manny. The game was good. You had us through the middle. You bet us where we play our best football, and that's contested football. You beat us in that thing. Your forward entries were 66 to 45, 38, I think. You can't win games with 38 entries, right? It just, we play terrible. And with 70 seconds to go, actually with about 100 seconds to go, we have a chance to win the game. So as bad as we played, we still almost won the game. You can't get any better, mate. You can't get any better. You played at your best and you just beat us, mate. What do you say about that?
What do you want me to tell you, Rocco?
You play
Rocco.
as your best, and with 70 seconds to go, we play terrible. Like if you look at our stats, they are terrible. They are terrible.
But having said that, if our kicking was better,
let me talk. You had your say. I didn't say anything while you were talking. Did I? You rattled off all your stats that your son gave you. I know how you work there, right? You got all your son to give you all your stats. You've come out with 70 seconds to go, right? The game is level, and we played as terrible as we could play. So I take heart in that, and we'll be ready for him. We'll be ready for this week, mate. So you gave it your best shot. You took it, mate. Well done. Long season, mate. We'll be ready. And Luca, we will be coming for you.
Yeah. No, fair enough. No, you're right there, Rocco. And if
the Blues did not turn up, he's absolutely right. We did not turn up. I actually think that we lost this game. You want to be seriously? We lost this game on Thursday night. And I said this last night. We lost it in selection. I think they got ahead of themselves because we did 4 big changes and we couldn't understand. And then they put Kennedy as the sub. I think we lost it in the selection panel at the start before we even got to the game. And then when I seen like Kennedy as a sub, we bring in Fantasia. He hasn't played a good game in 3 years, and we still keep playing him, right? Fantasia. And then we play him, and then we bring Cunningham, who hasn't played for like 8 months. We bring him back first game.
So go back to what Marco said. So we go back to what Mark said. You remember what Mark said? Mark said that at the end of the day, your best team goes out there to play.
Correct. You know what, boys? I know you guys are reviewing about this game, but I'm a little bit disappointed about this rivalry, the Carlton Collingwood rivalry. And I know you guys have been talking about the game and so forth, but there has not been no angst about, we beat you, boys. We won. We got the 4 points. You're talking about this and that and who and when. We're not like what. It's forever right, Quinn, mark my words, Quinn. It's about forever rivals, yeah? Get out there, bang the shit out of each other. Right? It's the biggest rivalry game of the year, as you guys predicted. And we're just talking about statistics, and we're talking about who's not on, who's not playing.
We talk about the game. You do exactly the same. You do exactly the same. Now, wait a sec, Mark. You do exactly the same when you talk about Essendon. When you talk about Essendon, you do exactly the same. You bring out your fucking stats, right? You bring out, this player got this many possessions. Oh, we got the fucking thing. You do exactly the same. This is our review. And we can do whatever you want. But at the moment, don't talk over me because I'll take you off. Don't talk over me because I'll take you off. I'm telling you, this is our review, and we'll review it any way we want. We're not 2 years old. Oh, go. We beat you. What's wrong with you? Worry about when we play you. What did you do last week to Manny? You did nothing. You didn't talk about anything. It was a fucking hard time to even make it to a bet. It was even hard to make it to a bet. You didn't do nothing.
This is the biggest rivalry. This is the biggest rivalry.
I'll mute you, right? Now, you want to be smart when it's me, when it's Carlton Collingwood. Worry about your fucking games. Don't worry about us. Don't worry about us. Because the rivalry with you blokes does not exist. You're a bunch of fucking frauds, mate. So relax and we'll go on to the next game.
I was just thinking maybe I was thinking that you're a little bit like this sore throat. I took advantage of you not keep going. And I thought, oh geez,
I've been doing this, mate. I've been in bed all day and I still come out here and do everything. So shut up. Oh, we beat you. What are you, like 2 years old?
What do you mean 2 years old?
Or
Come
who
on,
says
man.
that?
Give me
We
more,
beat
Give me there, Manny, mate. Give it to
you.
me,
You
mate.
always
Come
talk
on.
about, you always, when you win games and lose games, you talk about what happened to the game.
Yes, we can
Don't
talk
you?
about the game,
That's what
but
we've
we're
been
here
doing.
for it. We're
That's
here
what we've
to
been doing. But what do you want? What do you
Get
mean?
out
I've
of
been
here.
giving it to Manny for fucking 2 years.
Hey, Mark.
And
take
then
advantage of it when you can.
I let Manny
Take
talk.
advantage while you can,
I let
mate.
Manny
Give it to me,
talk.
mate.
All right, go give it to me. Go, Manny.
Well, I don't know. Hey, Mark, I don't know what it is that you want me to tell.
I know, like,
But the other day, when Rocco sits there, first of all, when he sits there and he says, "You know what? We fucked up. We lost the game. We actually didn't play. So at the end of the day, what am I supposed to sit there, kick him while he's down? He's already putting his hand up and he's saying, you know what? We lost the game. It is what it is.
They want the violin again.
Because he's going to kick you when
You know
you're
what's
down,
funny
mate.
about you, Mark? You should work for the AFL because you have got double standards on everything. Because
That's
whenever
exactly
you talk about your team, right, you do what you want. You bring out stats, Then when it's others, you want everyone to, mate, just worry about what you're doing. Don't worry about us. Don't worry about us. Don't worry about us.
All right, Mark, let me ask you a question.
I'm
All right, let me ask you a question.
It's the biggest rivalry of the year. The biggest, not Carlton and Essendon and Carlton.
You do too.
It's the
You look
biggest
like Chris
fight in
Coates.
Carlton. And you guys are talking about Dacos and possessions and
all right. You know what? Wait, just stop for a second. This is what we're going to do, right? Right? You just bet us. Go. What would you say?
No.
What would you say? I want to, because what I want to do is I want to write out a script, right, about how I should react when we lose to like one of our rivals. Tell us how you would react. Oh, we won. We beat you. Shut up. Like, seriously, man.
Hey, Mark, can I tell you something? The biggest game,
I would have given a summary about the game, but then I would have given it to you. Look, when Essendon played Carlton, right, in round 13, if we beat you, do you think I'm going to be talking about?
You still wear a jersey, don't you?
I'm going to give it to you left, right, and centre, mate. I'm going to give it to you full on, yeah?
What are you going to give me? What are you going to give me? The only thing you can say is how you bet us. That's all you can say. What are you going to say?
No.
Like you think you're going to? You think you're by saying? You think by saying, "Oh, we beat you."
Yeah.
That is simple. That is a simpleton fucking view of the game.
That's okay.
We beat you.
4 points.
Move
on. And go to next year.
88,000.
I bet you still wear your jersey to the game.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I bet you do because you're that type. You're probably painting your face too. You probably put makeup on.
I've got plenty of Guernseys, and one day I will wear it, right?
Yeah.
And that's the day that I'll wear it, and I'll show you.
Right.
Wear it.
Hey, Mark.
I'm proud of my jumper and my
88,000. Hey, 88,000.
Soft.
88,000.
Let's talk about Essendon West Coast. Let's talk about a good game.
What a good game. We'll talk about that. Where is it? Let's go into that. Let's go into this one here, guys. I want everyone's opinion about fucking beating West Coast by 6 points. You almost lost it at the end if it wasn't for a couple of umpiring decisions. You are a disgrace, mate. 11-5-71 to 11-11-77. How can you be talking? You once said, if you want to be smart, you'd rather lose by 69 points than win by 6 points or 3 points. So what's happening now? You won by 6 points to bottom of the ladder.
What's happening?
How can you be happy, Mark? How can you be happy about that?
Okay,
or are you a double standard? Are you on the rules committee of the AFL, are you? Because you're double standard. You actually said that you'd rather, no, answer this. You said that you would rather lose by 69 than win in the last second. What happened? What happened, Mark? Answer me.
We've won the last 4 games.
No, what happened? No, but
We've won
you
the last
can't
four
go
games.
back. You said you would rather lose.
Yeah.
What
that's
happened?
right. And what's happened since then? We've won
So
the last four
would
games.
you have rather have lost to West Coast?
No. Well, we didn't lose against West Coast. Don't go predicting that we've lost or won.
No,
Since
but you
that
said that
game-
you would rather lose.
Yes. I'd rather lose by 69 points because you know what's happened now? We've won the last 5. So,
But then why don't you want to lose against West Coast?
but we didn't lose. So don't worry about it. It's irrelevant now.
Oh, that's different. Here
That's
we go.
irrelevant. We won the game.
Talk about how you won by 6 points against the bottom of the ladder. Let's go.
Oh.
And you better not. I'm telling you now. I don't want to hear one stat. I'll fucking take you off if you mention one stat because you fucking bagged us for doing it. If I hear one stat, you go off. Go.
There's no stats here. There's no stats.
Go, tell me.
It's about talking about the game. Yeah. So obviously,
you better not add a stat or anything. Go.
I'm frozen.
I'm frozen. Come on, mate. Talk about the game without talking about stats.
It's always going to be.
You're killing me.
You want to go to the next game?
Looks like the cat's got his tongue.
You want to go to Richmond?
I guarantee, I know your little pad in front of you.
You've got Richmond and Freo. I'm happy to go to Richmond and Freo.
No, I'm going to get stuck into fucking Quinn too. Don't you? Now, this, unfortunately, Quinn, you're going to cop it because of these two here. Now, you're the one that's going to cop it now. All right, go. Talk about your shit game because we've got Essendon people here.
Oh, so it's a shit game now. Okay, so that's good. That's why.
Yeah, what? You bet West Coast by 6 points, and you're walking around like you won a final. You know why? Because these sort of games are like finals to you. Because it's over 7,000 days.
What do you want me to do, Rock, mate? Sit here and just go, oh, yeah, we won.
We'll do whatever you want. It's your time. I'm going to now shut up. Go.
This is my segment.
Go. Talk.
You had your finals, your rivalry, the biggest rivalry of the year segment.
All right, talk about. Isn't this a rivalry for you? Oh, look at me. We beat West Coast on the bottom of the ladder. Go.
Don't worry, West Coast will start beating some teams over there very soon.
Now West Coast is going to start beating teams.
It's not like I went out last week saying that Essendon's going to go out there and smash them by 60 points. I was happy to win by 4 goals because I know that going into state.
You almost lost, Mark, to the bottom of the ladder.
You don't listen. You got to jump in.
No, I don't want to listen to your.
I know every team that goes into state, regardless of where they're on a ladder, apart from probably Richmond at the moment. But if an interstate side is going, over there, it's always difficult to win. Okay, regardless of where they're on the ladder. So I was never 100% confident, but I was assured that.
Do the violin for him.
If we could keep the crowd quiet, if we could keep them quiet in the first quarter, which we did, we've got a chance. Okay, because they are playing some good football, and they're gonna be some teams that go. Apart from that, it was good to see. There was a lot of good points,
Mark, I can tell you the only good thing that came out of that game is that they're using that video.
Otherwise, I won't do the segment, mate. I won't do it.
Listen, they're using that video. They're using that video. I've just found out that they've gotten that game and they've taken it to an old people's geriatrics home because they wanted to put something on to make them fall asleep. And, mate, guess what? It doesn't even get past the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Well, just going on Collingwood a little bit here, but there is a couple of points that I will mention on that game. Is that
I hope there's no stats you're going to give me.
Todd Goldstein, 10,000, not like Pendlebury, but yeah.
Oh, fuck! I can't believe you brought up that stat.
Don't interrupt my segment. All right, 10,000. Okay, number
10,000.
one. Not
10,000
about
what?
them to be there, soft up there, soft kicks. Number two, Harley Reid. Oh, they rested him for this game. 6 possessions. Wow. Okay. But all in all,
That's a stat rock.
Sam
I
Durham.
don't get it.
Sam Durham,
He's a
mark my words.
hypocrite.
Right?
You're a hypocrite.
Darcy Parish, 38 possessions.
That's another stat. Why are you giving me stats for, Mark?
You
Why
got
are you
one
giving me
player.
stats?
You got one player.
What's
Zach
that?
Merritt.
Darcy Parish, 38
That's all you got. You got Zach Merritt. If you
Getting
didn't have Zach
back-
Merritt,
getting
you'd have
back
the
to
Kuda.
Getting back to his football. Zach Merritt, if you want a tip for the Brownlow, put a few bucks on Zach Merritt, mate. Best on ground again. So we didn't convincingly beat West Coast because percentage at the moment for us is really irrelevant. But we should have really won by 4 goals.
Between you and Collingwood.
We kicked inaccurately. So those, we kicked 5 posters, 5-point posters in that game.
You're right,
So
you're right, mate.
I felt that we were always in control of the game. It was getting a bit shaky towards the end. But you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to feel sorry for some sides that go out towards Perth.
You're always control of the game.
So,
You're always control of the
4
game.
points. 4 points. Like I said last week, 4 points. That's all we want. We're there. And,
Luca's on the ball here. I thought you
work
said
out what
Brownlow
goes on. We'll work out what
I thought
goes
you
on
said
this
the
week
Brownlow
against
should be
GWS,
gone.
but we've got a bit of tips coming forward. Move on.
I
Next game.
thought you said the Brownlow should be gone, but now you're picking Merritt for the Brownlow.
Oh, well, if the Brownlow is still going, I'm not saying that it shouldn't go on. But if you're going to put a tip on for the Brownlow,
You are. You know what you are. I'm going to call you. I'm going to
if you want
call
to
you
make a few
Thong.
bucks, if you want to make, it's all about betting, isn't it? It's all about
I'm going
betting.
to call you Thong. I don't bet. I'm going to call you Thong from now on because you just flip flop. Flip
Well,
flop.
no.
Flip flop. Flip flop.
Speaking of,
Put
Call
the
him
ladder
G-string.
on. Put the
Call him
ladder
G-string.
on and put the
Because
tips
he
on.
only,
We'll see
because he
how it
only
goes.
covers what he wants to cover. Call
I
him
know.
G-string.
Yeah. He only does what he has. Fucking hell, Manny. You're coming up with a beauty there. Call him G-string. He only covers what he wants to cover. I like that. You are just a flip-flopper. A flip-flopper. You bet the bottom of the ladder by 6 points after you turned around
Who's
and
the
said
bottom of the
you'd
ladder,
rather
Lord?
lose by
Who's the bottom of the
69
ladder,
than win
Rob?
by
Who's the
3.
bottom
But I
of the ladder?
suppose that 6 and 3 is completely different. You'd be
Who's
happy
the
to win
bottom
by
of the ladder?
Hey,
You don't
Mark.
want to win by 3.
Mark, this goes
Who's
out to
the
you,
bottom
mate.
of the ladder, Rob? Who? North, Hawthorn, Richmond, West Coast? Who?
What are you talking about?
When you're saying you bet the bottom of the ladder,
Well, they're a bottom 4 side, man.
they're going to improve.
No, they're
West
not.
Coast.
okay,
They're
no.
not a bottom 4 side.
I actually agree with Mark here. Like you said, like Mark made a good point, right? He said you travel interstate, WA, Optus Oval. It's a den. It is. It's a haven for these interstate clubs, right? No matter where they're on the ladder, it's a tough game. It is. It's a tough game, and I agree with you there. So why the fuck 3 weeks ago when Richmond lost to West Coast, you were shitting on us saying how terrible of a loss it was losing to West Coast. Now, West Coast are a good side. It's hard to win over there. Talk about flip-flop, mate. What's the difference?
But where's
It's only what
Richmond?
suits
Where's
you.
Richmond at
It's
the
only
moment?
what suits
Yeah,
you.
that's the thing. We've got a rebuilding list as well. You guys are supposed to be playing finals this year.
No,
The sleeping giants.
No.
Sleeping giants.
No. People were predicting us not even to finish top 12. All right.
I'm talking about you. What you said.
You, not media, you.
I believe Essendon should be finishing the top 8 this year, from what I can see.
Right.
But a lot
So
of
you should be
predictions out there
smashing West
saying-
Coast.
Right. Okay.
Smashing them.
Not for anything. We'll get to Richmond's game, but that is very disappointing. That is very disappointing to play at home at the
People
NPD.
love it, Quinny. Go for it, Quinny.
Right.
They love
We're not
it.
talking about Richmond's game. I'm talking about you shit on Richmond for losing to West Coast in WA because they're a bad side. Now you guys only just got over the line, and all of a sudden it's a tough place to win games of footy, and West Coast aren't a bad team.
Well, obviously,
Mark.
West Coast had one.
Mark.
They had won
Mark,
two
you-
games.
you're breaking-
Two games.
You're breaking at the moment.
How many games?
You're
did they
breaking
win?
at the moment. Hey, Mark, you're breaking at the moment. All right. You're breaking at the moment. right? Who have you really beaten? Who have you really played that you've really genuinely beaten?
Oh, we lost Queen.
Huh? You played Hawthorn. Ooh,
Benny.
there's a tough team. Hawthorn. Yeah. Wow. Big deal. Hawthorn's been getting smacked every single week, right? Every single week. Then you play Sydney. And what happened to when I get Sydney?
Hey, Manny,
It was doggy.
Manny, we're not
It was
going to
doggy.
get into every single game. I'll tell you something straight away. I'll tell you something straight away. The last 8 weeks, we have played interstate 4 times. We have played interstate 4 times.
Come on, mate.
Weeks.
You played St Kilda. You just beat them. You just beat them. Right.
Now,
You're making excuses, are you?
For the football club to start winning games at home, because the last 8 weeks we've played interstate, we've played some big teams, Collingwood, and so forth. So we're there, mate. Right?
Did I just hear an excuse?
No, I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying.
Yes, you did.
Manny's saying that we played shit.
You just made an excuse.
We haven't played any teams, right? We haven't played any good teams.
But that's an excuse when you do it
4 times.
You haven't played any yet.
When we do it, you go, oh, you should play us. There should be no excuses. All of a sudden, we've been playing interstate. I'm telling you, you are the king of excuses. And from now on, your name is Mr. Flip-flop, 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 flip-flop. Yeah, look, do you believe that he waves a flag for West Coast?
Mate, I believe he waves a flag for something.
We are winning. You are losing.
Look at that. Queenie was cooked so hard that he fucking cooked the camera, mate, when he went off before.
It's true. It's bloody true. Look, I got the laptop it's dead. It's dead.
Yeah,
it couldn't handle it anymore.
You're still there. We got you there, but you're absolutely right. I remember him. He bagged you for West Coast and that, and then they played, and all of a sudden it's a tough trip. Oh, we play West Coast. They're a good team. Like, shut up! What a load of rubbish, man. You're just getting over the line. You bunch of flip flops, man. Bunch of cheats. The other day you should have won because you cheated. Should have been a free kick against you. You are hopeless.
And to be fair, you guys did just miss out on playing.
Move on. 4 points. 4 points. If you're not lucky, mate, we'll be in the top 4, mate. We'll be in the top 4.
You won't be in the top 4. You'll be lucky to make you'll be lucky to be in the 8 in a couple of weeks.
Oh, all right. Okay. After you boys back in the week, how's the tips going?
Hey, mate, we just played in these 3 weeks, mate. How's the tips going? Yeah, because of course the tips. Jam your tips up your ass, and don't do that while you're on thing. But don't jam your tips up your ass. But I'll tell you one thing, mate. We've just played like we played Geelong, Collingwood, Melbourne. Who've you played?
They played Hawthorn.
Oh.
They played St
We
Kilda.
won one and we just lost the other game. And you want to bag us.
You guys are in deep shit, man.
You got no idea. You know what you do? How about you go and learn about the game instead of using your 30 touches. You don't even know what 30 touches mean, mate.
Hey, Quinn, do you like the band?
That's your whole thing about stats, 30 touches. He probably got fucking 26 of them kicking it out. Like, shut up. He probably got like 18 of them handball receives.
Do you like the band Foo Fighters?
Yeah, where's this going?
Yeah, where's it going? Have you heard the song called Pretenders? Yeah, okay.
Oh, we're going to get on to the next one. All right, let's go. Sorry, Quinn.
Oh, jeez.
6-13, 49, 15-13. That's 28 scoring shots tonight. They're not too bad, but a loss of 54 points?
Yeah. I was actually blessed this week. I was working at my
Fucking hell.
stadium at the same time this game was on, so I didn't have to torture myself and sit through it. But it was look, I had stuff written up on the computer, but it died, as you all saw. So I won't be able to read them all off. But essentially, look, I don't know if we're tanking. I hope we're not doing that. It definitely seems like it. The young guys aren't experienced enough to go out there and compete as hard as we want them to for 4 full quarters of footy. We got beaten up in the middle. They had double the amount of possessions we did. And they somehow had double the amount of tackles as well, considering they had a lot more of the footy. I don't know how they're tackling more also. So there was just no intent on the weekend. I got a lot of people messaging me about umpires, and I don't buy into that. They don't help, but I don't think they cost results, especially by that kind of margin. So, yeah, I just think there was a pure lack of effort, and the young guys are just they're battling a little bit, these young kids.
Mark. Now you try and dig into Quinn there when he's sitting there and he's admitting, he's telling you our team is shit. They're bricklayers at the moment, mate. They're bricklayers. They're building. That's what they're doing. They're building, and they'll be building. And they'll be building.
I would never ever say my team is shit, mate. So I don't know where you get that from, Manny. But
it doesn't matter. Hey, Mark, it doesn't matter what you say. I went down Smith Street, Collingwood.
Doesn't matter what you say, mate.
And I met a chap. An Essendon supporter who had a radio shop there, and which he calls Wah Wah Records. I actually was going to say to him, is that because you do so much crying? Wah, wah. He hasn't seen finals football. You know what I'm talking about. Mate, you shouldn't be talking. Your kids are sitting there saying to you, Dad, what is finals?
It's all right.
What is finals, Daddy?
What goes around comes around.
What goes around?
I'm not gonna talk about the game. I'm not here to talk about Richmond and back. I'm talking about the game. Okay. So if you want me to say anything, Quinn, about the game, personally, if you want me to say anything, it's up to you. But keep going what you're saying, mate. But Manny, regardless if they're shit or they're not shit, obviously, Richmond are not playing to their potential.
But I think you're missing the point. I don't think you're saying that your team's shit. You're always going to back your team. You're saying they're playing shit. Like they're not shit. You're always going to back your side. But they're playing like when your team plays terrible, it plays terrible. And at the end of the day, I know you say about injuries and that, but at the end of the day, injuries do fucking hurt your team, mate. Like at the end of the day, Richmond were already going to struggle to make the 8, right? With their injuries, they got no fucking chance.
If you want me to talk about Richmond, I'll talk about Richmond. But
talk about Richmond now.
But I'm from what I can see, I think there was something wrong in the recruitment side of things. I think they might have let some of the old players, maybe stay for a little bit longer than what they maybe should have. So it's all about recruiting. It's all about, it's not about just the players. I think that Richmond should have made some changes maybe a year or two ago, and they're suffering for it now. I love Richmond, mate. There's nothing better than Richmond being out there and, massive crowds. And, we got the dream time. We've got the dream time in a couple of weeks. It wouldn't surprise me if Richmond come out and probably beat us because, again, it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you are on the ladder. It doesn't matter where you are on the ladder. What I'm saying with Richmond, they've had
I've got a calculator. They've had success,
and they've had
7,000. 7,000.
They're going to suffer. They're going to suffer because of that.
Divided by 365. That's 19 years and 17 days that you haven't seen finals football, Michael.
That's right, mate.
At 19 years.
Before that, Manny,
let's get it right.
Manny. So before that, I saw a lot more grand finals and finals that you'll ever see with Collingwood. So it's all right what's happened in the last 25 years. But before that, I saw a lot more than what you've ever seen, mate. I'm telling you right now.
Bananas.
Before, don't talk about the past, and now you've brought up your grand finals. Jam them up your ass.
I'm not talking. You're talking about the past. This is the future now. We're in the future.
No. First of all, let me correct something, right, Manny? It's not 7,000 since they played. Since they've won a final. They have played them.
Oh, okay.
And they've lost them, right? They haven't won one in over 7,000 days. And Mark, you are absolutely wrong, right? Because this is not the past. Because 7,100 days is still active. So it's the present. We're not talking about the past. See, what happens is as soon as you win one, then it becomes the past. At the moment, at the present, yous are put up that spud because that's what yous are. Yous are a bunch of spuds, right? That's you.
Don't worry about my
That's
club,
you.
mate. Worry
That's how
about
you
yours.
watch the
Worry
finals.
about yours.
That's how
Don't
you
worry about
watch the
mine. Worry about yours.
That's how you watch the finals like that.
Don't worry about my club, mate. Worry about yours, buddy.
I'm not
Because
worried at
your
all.
club's in
I
a
think
bit
you're
of
doing
trouble
great.
now.
We made a preliminary. Hey,
People
we're
are trying to
what
burn
you're
their
forgetting.
flags, burn the memberships already, mate.
Who? If you're
Well,
going to
that's what I've
make a
been saying.
statement, who burnt the
I don't
membership?
know who it is. I just seen it. I
Who?
saw it on the
No,
media. Burning
who? Where did you see that? Don't make
the
ridiculous statements. Don't make ridiculous statements. Burn membership. Now you're just making stuff up to suit yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
At present, don't make stuff up. At present, you're over nearly 8,000 fucking days that you haven't won a. Just get over it. Let's win one.
Worry about
And then we
yours.
can
Manny,
talk.
you
And
worry,
let's get back
Manny,
to
you worry about your club too, mate. Don't worry.
Oh my
I
God.
don't have to worry about
You are, yous are the worst, mate. You did this last year. You win a couple of games and you start waving a flag. You know why? Because what happens is your standards are very low. That's why you get excited. See, our standards are very high. So that's why we go, we try to work out what we can do. But your standards are, we beat West Coast by 6 points. Woohoo! Shut up.
Well,
we
you made
got
a little bit of history. Last year, you made a little bit of history because I remember you turned around and said that after round one, whoever finishes on top after round one always ends up playing finals football.
All right, listen. Can I just get back? Because now you made me lose it. Here we go.
I love you,
Anthony,
Manny, mate. I love you, Manny. I love you.
So Jason's been big on my case about Richmond having trading Dusty. Yeah, he has every week. I've said this on the show. I've admitted it multiple times. If I'm using my head, probably. My biggest flaw is I am a sentimentalist where I take things to heart too easily, and I would hate a world where Richmond traded away Dusty just because of what he means to the club. And I know that's not the logical way to feel, but that's just what my heart says, right? So I'm glad we've held on to him for that reason. But using my head in hindsight, the way we're going now, it probably wouldn't have been a bad idea. I don't think we sold the farm with Taranto and Hopper bringing them in, though. I still stand by that because they're guys that are going to be around for still 6-7 years. They're still young enough. They've got plenty of footy left in them. Their prime is, the midfielder's prime is 28, 29 usually. These guys are still under that age bracket, so they're nearly there. Yeah. And we will need experience to take the young guys through. We've got a bunch of players in our list that are top 30 picks. We'll have we've got pick number 2 next year, I believe. So I don't think we're shaping up as badly for the future.
I reckon, Quinn, you should have traded Martin maybe a couple of years ago. But at the moment, you know what he's worth? A spud and a can of Jack Daniels. That's all he's worth at the moment, mate. 2 years ago, he might have been worth a few bucks.
Mate, Dustin Martin now, Jake Stringer couldn't tie Dustin Martin's shoe, and that's now. He's just a wannabe Dustin Martin. If you're going to shit on Dustin Martin, you've got to look like Stringer running around with his belly hanging out everywhere, and you're going to talk about players. Fuck me.
You know how they say that when they trade players, you trade them for a pack of chips and a potato cake and that. Well, that's what I would trade Martin for at the moment. A spud.
Here's a stat for you. Here's a stat for you. I've just gone through the stats. Dusty Martin has played more finals than the whole of the Essendon football team.
He's won.
History in the making.
Hey, Manny, I'll give you a stat as well. It's because that's probably unfair. Dustin Martin has also won more Norm Smith medals than Essendon have won finals in the last 12 years. So, mate, we're going to start talking shit. Don't pick on one of the greatest players of all time, mate, because it's a slopey hill.
I'm
Hey,
not
listen,
bagging
old
him,
man
mate.
loves-
I'm not
old man loves
bagging.
Dustin,
I didn't say he was a good player, but at the moment, that's what he's being traded for. He's not worth anything at the moment, mate. They should have traded him 2 or 3 years ago when he was primed, but now maybe a packet.
The club's plan was to never trade him, though.
We can't hear you, Rocco.
Yeah, Rocco, you're muted.
Rocco, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Rocco. You're going to have to charge your mic. You have to charge your mic.
Yeah, you
Just
got
the other
quickly
mic.
as well.
Send him a
Can you
message.
hear me now?
There we are.
Now?
There
Oh,
we
yeah,
are.
the mic went dead. All I was going to say is Mark's right for once. You're not going to get 2 first-round picks. Everyone knows that. That's fair enough. Should you have traded him? Should you have traded him a few years ago? Yeah, that's the whole thing. But how do you trade one of your legends of the club? Like, it's very hard to do. But the other thing is, I'll give you an example. I'll take Dusty. I'm not going to give you 2 first-round picks, but you put Dusty into our team, and all of a sudden he's exactly what we need. I guarantee you put Dusty in Collingwood's side, makes him a fucking 3 or 4 goal side better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Unfortunately, now he's playing with, a bunch of young spuds they are at the moment. And unfortunately, he's trying to.
Oh, that poison.
So, but I would take Dusty now, and I guarantee you put Dusty in our side, and our side's
Young
10% better.
spuds.
And back to the 2 first-round picks thing. No, yeah, absolutely. No one is saying that he's worth 2 first-round picks now, but I don't think Richmond's intention was never to. They weren't holding on until trading late. Richmond has never wanted to let Dustin Martin go ever. So I think that's one thing as well. But just quickly, because we'll move on, because it's a bit boring talking about a shit side at the moment. But just quickly as well, because I'll get my ear chewed off if I don't do this. But bit of a shout out to someone who watches the show quite regularly. Biggest football nuff I know, Reese Contessa, going in for shoulder surgery tomorrow. So best of luck, champion. Hope you do well, mate. Thinking of you. And
What's his name?
Yeah. Reese Contessa.
Reese. All right, good luck, Reese. Get back up there, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dylan,
all the best, Reese.
Dylan makes a good point here. I would take Dusty over any Essendon player at the moment. Any.
Nah, come on, mate. What about Zach Merritt?
You know what? Actually, I wouldn't take him over Setterfield. I would take Westerfield back.
Westerfield, yeah. Yeah, Westerfield.
Right, let's move on because we are. Oh my God, man! You blokes, you talk for a lot. Here we go. I'll give it to you, Marco. You can do the ladder this week.
No. That's Manny's job, mate, not mine.
All right, Manny, do the ladder, but don't go for the whole thing. Do what the important ones are.
Yeah. All right, mate. No worries. Look, we've got the Bombers who are sitting 5th. We got Carlton who's just in the 8th. We got the Magpies knocking on the door of the 8th, and of course Richmond. It's
well, that was generous.
Not looking.
You know what? As long as you keep doing that through the whole year, don't be one of those like nuffies who only.
It's Essendon West Coast. It's the Essendon West Coast rivalry, mate. It's not Collingwood Carlton crap shit. It's the Essendon West Coast. Jack away.
You get excited about it.
That's what I'm doing it for. I'm only doing it for that, man. I'm not doing it for anything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the other thing. Let's make sure, Quinny. Let's make sure we support Tiger Den, mate, and they need it too.
Jason loves hounding me about Dusty, but he is a great man and a great supporter. Love to Jason.
I watch all your videos. I like your insight into the team. That's why I kind of know a bit about it, because you give me all the insight. But I'll tell you one thing, like doing the Carlton show, and I'm sure you do that. It's good therapy when you're not playing well. It's good to get out there and just talk about the game. So it's good. Unfortunately, I had to organise like for a bomber to be in a show, because you've got nothing. You've got nothing. I've watched some of those bomber shows. It's a disgrace, right? Magpie, Manny, well, they got Swoop Luke, but seriously, who wants to watch Swoop Luke? So lucky we got Magpie, Manny on this one, and we cover everybody. So it is good therapy for everybody. What's Dylan say? I want Heppel to do another hype up talk. Oh, yeah. Remember when he done that, the big hype up talk before the Carlton game? They got in the big circle. What a dud. What do we got here? All right. We're going to move on. Ladder next week. All right. We'll do next week. As I said, we'll go through the games. Right. And when we get to our games, which quite it's a coincidence that the first game. Are you right there, Quinn? You're starting to give me a fucking headache there, mate. Like moving around like that. Like, Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. Computer's turning back on. I'm getting it ready to go.
Oh, you're getting ready to go. You're gonna do the swap
He
over.
says no.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a bit more charge first. A bit more charge.
All right, let's do the first game. Here we go. This is the big comeback game. Carlton Melbourne tomorrow night. It's tomorrow night at 7:30 at the MCG, mate. I reckon we should get about 70,000 Carlton people and about 5,000 Melbourne supporters. They are the most fickle supporters they are out there. We play Melbourne. And just quickly for everyone out there, because our game is tomorrow, is it all right, Mark, if I mention ins and outs and stats? Can I do that, or am I not allowed to do that?
Oh, of course you can. It's you can.
I just want to make sure, because apparently only you can do that, but we can't. All right, let's have a look at what we have. Got some big ins tomorrow. As much as you say, ins and outs don't matter to me, mate. You put quality into your side, it makes a big difference. But we're dropping Lewis Young. Lewis Young is Lewis Young, man. He does what he can do. He's not AFL standard. Zach Williams is injured. Fantasia. I hate to say it, because I love anyone that wears the Carlton jumper, but he's been omitted. And David Cunningham should not have come back after like 8 months out of the game in the first game. So we're bringing in Brody Kemp, which I didn't think should have got dropped last week. Mitch McGovern. Now, he's the man we've been missing. We're bringing back Hollands on the wing, which I don't know why they dropped him last week. And the other big in for us is Jack Martin up the forward line. I think he's going to do heaps for us. So I think that McGovern is the big one at the front, which is in the back line there. He's the daring one. He's the one who takes that kick in the middle, opens up the game. He's what we've been missing. So with those ins, what can I say? The Blues are going to win by 50 points. Easy.
Yeah, I agree. I think Carlton's going to is going to come back. He's going to come back from the Magpie loss. So I think this will be their game to come back.
Orazio Fangula. Yeah, I think everyone's been getting a little bit like fucking. Everyone's getting a little bit frustrated with. We do miss Sard speed. Yeah, we're just missing that sit out of the back. Indeed, Rocco. Listen, I won't. Rat sack over here. Indeed, Rocco. Come on, Blue Baggers by 34. All right, used to. What are you going to say?
Yeah, I'm with you, Rock. I reckon you're just due to bounce back. I think last week you didn't show up. Carlton at the moment don't do that 2 weeks in a row usually. So I feel like they'll bounce back. Your supporter base will get around them. Like you said, Melbourne have the worst supporters in the comp, somehow even worse than Essendon. They're terrible. But they won't be there. I don't know. I can see Carlton winning this game. I don't know about comfortably, because Melbourne have a way of just slowing down forward lines, which is obviously your strength. But I reckon, Carlton win this game for me.
Yeah, as I said, a couple of goals maybe. I'll be happy with that. I'll be happy with fucking couple of goals. Marco, is this your flip of the coin?
No, I was just about to be the flip of the coin, to be honest. But good point, Quinn and Rocco, about Carlton bouncing back, and even Manny said that Carlton bouncing back. But regardless of your ins and outs, I think that Melbourne with Lever, May and McDonald will keep Ryan Curnow quiet, and Aussie Pickett will probably might snatch the game for you guys. So I'm going to tip Melbourne by 12 points.
All right. Next one. Well, you do this. Next one, Quinny.
Yep. So I just shut it down. We go to Friday night. If it wants to live, maybe someone else go with Friday night because mine's just shit itself.
Cats Port Adelaide.
Cats Port Adelaide. That's the one.
At GMHBA Stadium, Geelong.
Yeah, I think Porter, a team that likes to get up on the lesser sides at the moment. I haven't seen them convince me with a big win. And Geelong are flying, as we know, and they'll bounce back after their loss too. So I reckon, Geelong quite comfortably at home.
Yeah, I agree, Geelong.
Yeah. Obviously, Geelong at their home ground will beat Port. But if it was at the MCG, I might have felt a little bit differently. But, Geelong at their home ground will win.
Why? I reckon bloody the Cats would beat Port Adelaide at the G. They played just as well at the G.
Well, to me,
but
if it was at the MCG, it'll be a little bit closer. But anyway, it's at the GMHBA Stadium, whatever it's called.
Next game.
All right, we got Freo taking on the Swans at Optus Stadium. Another one on Friday night. We've got the doubleheader on Friday night. There you go. So, Freo versus the Swans. For me, Sydney. Yeah, for me, Sydney win this one. I just think they're a better rounded side altogether. I know it's at Optus Stadium, so Freo always have that edge. But, for me, Sydney.
Yeah, I'll go for I don't know why, but I'm going to go for Fremantle.
I'm going to go for Fremantle because we've got Sydney next week, and I want them to go into a bit of a slump. So, Fremantle for me.
Yeah, Freo playing some good footy. Obviously, Swans are up the top of the ladder, but you can't win them all, so eventually they'll lose a game. So I think Freo is an opportunity to beat them at home.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's true. Port Adelaide did beat the Cats at the Cattery last year. They did too.
They did. I think Geelong are a better side this year, though, than they were last year.
Yeah, they are. Sorry, Mark, who did you go? I missed it. I got
Freo, mate. I've got Freo.
All right. Next one.
All righty.
The Hawks are a bit of a bloody – they're doing all right this week. Hawks versus the Saints.
Yeah, let me tell you, Hawks have made my week at work real pain in the ass. But Hawks take on the Saints this Saturday afternoon in Tassie, of all places. I love Hawthorn and what they're doing. I just think with the team that they are, they're going to be inconsistent. So I think the Saints should knock them off here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
should.
Because it's at Tassie, it's a bit interesting.
It mixes it up, but I don't know if Hawthorn play enough there for that to be a real home ground advantage, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure. But, I'm still there.
I'm going to go Saints too.
Yeah, she killed it for me.
Obviously, Hawthorn being one of the top bottom four shit sides, I'll be going for St Kilda.
Very good. All right, here we go.
All righty, we keep going. Marco, Saturday afternoon, twilight. The Bombers take on the GWS Giants at Marvel Stadium. I'll give my tip, Mark, but I got something I'm following on with because I'll own it here. I'm going with the Giants. I think they'll be top four this year. They're a fantastic side. If Essendon knock off GWS this week at Marvel Stadium, I won't eat a hat, but I will apologize for some of the shit that I've given you about the Bombers if they knock off the Giants. Because that will be That's not your 6-point win over West Coast that you're waving your scarf around about. That'll be an impressive win.
That's part of it, yeah.
That will be an impressive win. And if you can knock them off, then I will own it. And I'll apologize. But I'm tipping the Giants. But like I said, you can quote me, you can film it, whatever you need to do.
Hold on, I'll take that in consideration, Quinn. But look, it's a blockbuster game. Yeah, this would be close to one of the rivals of as well this week, mate. Essendon GWS at home.
I don't think apart from the Anzac Day and you built up the game with Richmond, I don't think you got blockbuster games.
Well, we've got plenty. We've got plenty. Don't worry, we've got Geelong as well coming through the country
game. You rely on teams like Carlton, Richmond, and Collingwood to make your game a blockbuster.
Well, you guys are relying on us to make those games, but anyway.
Do you?
So
how do you do that when we got more members? We had the most. We had the most people attend games last year. How do we rely on you?
You bandwagons. You just jump on board. But anyway, so with the game, Essendon versus GWS. GWS smashed us last year by 120 points, and I think Essendon now will redeem that. They've learned from it, and they're missing a couple of players too, GWS. So, look, I'm not going to get too technical on who's the ins and outs here, but they're playing at home, which is their it's their third game at home this year after 9 rounds at Marvel. So, 50,000 supporters at Marvel. Mate, go to Mighty Bombers, mate. We get the 4 points out of this game. I'll tell you now, I might have to wear the Mankini next week, mate. I might have to wear it.
All right, do it. Do it.
Essendon
Mark,
for me.
Manny, what do you reckon?
36 points.
What do you reckon?
Well, look, I think Essendon will bounce back from. They won. They did fly across Australia to play against the West Coast, and that's a fair travel. Credit to the Bombers. I think now they're going to be playing at home. So, Giants for me.
Yeah, Giants. You're actually coming up. You're actually coming up against the good side.
That's why my tips are going high, and you guys are going.
That's the only week. It's the only week you went up.
Oh, who's on top now? We'll have a look.
Yeah, I know, but Mark, again, you're doing what you did last year. You were also leading last year. So was Manny. You were leading last year. You're doing exactly what you're doing last year. You're what are we? April. What are you? April premiers. This is a war.
Keep the faith.
This is a war, not a battle. You just like winning little battles because again, your standards are so low, right? Your standards are so low that any little win is like a final to you. Anyway, let's move on to the next one.
Take it while we can.
Yeah. I know you can take it while you can, but that's all you've got. Richmond and the Bulldogs. Actually, this is an interesting game because the Bulldogs keep letting everyone down. But yeah,
that they do. It's an interesting one in the sense that they lost to Hawthorn on the weekend, who they definitely shouldn't have lost to, and they should definitely be beating Richmond on the weekend. But then there's always that question mark because of how inconsistent the Bulldogs have been. With the scrutiny and all the backlash that they've copped throughout the week, they've just re-signed Jamara today, so there's a bit of hype around that. The Dogs should be coming out and winning this game. So in saying that, I'll tip Richmond.
Yeah, of course you will. And I'm gonna have to go. Sorry. Yeah, you're not gonna win this one either. And you'd be like conflicted here because you got Richmond and you got the Doggies there. You don't know what's going on.
It's conflicting feelings because I'm looking in one direction of the room, right? And I've got my Richmond stuff. Like I got my little Richmond footy here. I got the scarf in the background, right? Then I look over as well, and I got my Bulldogs tie that I was wearing in an event last night. So it's a bit of a conflicting week for me at the moment in this household. But no, it's always a good game. I'm glad it's at the G because at Marvel I would give us less than 0% chance, but the G helps a little bit. And Matula makes a point. I'm not saying this is going to contribute to a win or loss, but we have some big ins coming in this week potentially, which is just exciting to finally see some senior guys on the park. I'm not saying it's going to make us win the game, but it's just exciting to see when you haven't had them for so long. So,
who are the begins, Quinn? Who are the begins?
sorry, Mark.
Who are the begins?
We don't know. We're not confirmed, but potentially Noah Bolter. So we finally have a key forward back, which would be nice. Prestia and Jack Graham. So 2 mids and a forward.
You're tipping against them.
All right. What about you two? Who are you going for?
Doggies for me. Doggies for me.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, obviously, Quinn.
Can I ask a question? Will they have just the bottom? Just the bottom that will be open at the MCG.
Here he is. He's back again.
Because I'm just thinking, well, they're probably lucky if they get 20,000 there.
All I'll say is I hope they don't open just the bottom level because my ticket is level 2 and I'll absolutely be spewing if I can't get up there if they close it off. So we'll wait and see.
Okay.
Check out. Can I first of all, Mark? What's your tip?
Quinn, mate, you stuffed up my tips last week. I went for Richmond, right? You stuffed up my tips, mate. So I'm not going for Richmond again. Sorry, regardless of who your ins are. Bulldogs.
Can I just say, it's a bit rich there from fucking Magpie Manny talking about supporters rocking up to their games.
What was that?
What do you mean? How can you talk about supporters don't rock up to their games? You are the prime person who doesn't rock up to games.
Mate, I've got the membership. I go to the games. The biggest problem we've got is too many members. We've got the big.
Talking about you got a membership. You said you got a membership.
Doesn't matter who we play. We're always getting the big. We get the big crowds.
No, but you're talking about members not going, and you never go to games.
No, I go to the home games. I do.
No, you don't. You've been to 2 games. You haven't had just 2 home games this year.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have.
You've only had 2 home games.
Unfortunately.
No, you haven't.
Now we're going to start. Now we're going to start having some home.
You've only had two home games.
Yeah.
Shut up.
All right, you do the stats. Then you come and see me. Anyway, let's go to the next game.
What's that got to do with it? What kind of membership have you got?
Hang on, mate. The other day, membership. If we're not playing at home, we're not playing at home. What are you going to do?
What do you mean? You're still playing at the G, and it's not like you're playing on fucking Mars.
Well, no, some of the games we haven't played at the MCG.
Well, whatever.
It is what it is.
Whatever. Yeah, you're still playing at the G last week, the week before. Who'd you play? What about the Essendon?
Last week,
the Essendon game.
No, that was Essendon's home game. I couldn't get it.
This week, Manny, no excuses, mate. Collingwood versus Westgate.
I couldn't find a seat. Couldn't get a seat.
You couldn't find a seat, man. I had a spare seat for you this week. Why didn't you go? Oh, I had Greek Easter. Oh, the game's away. Oh, the game.
That's right.
Anyway, all I'm saying is you're there bagging supporters for not going to the game, and you are the biggest culprit.
Listen. It was Good Friday. I didn't go, and I didn't go.
What about the other 7 weeks? Anyway, Gold Coast versus North.
Gold Coast. Not much to talk about with this one.
Gold Coast.
Mark?
Gold Coast, mate. Yeah.
All right, this is your one. This is your one.
No, your boys are up next, Manny.
That's right.
West Coast, Sunday, 1300, which is 1 o'clock. Tell me.
Marvel Stadium.
There's no excuses. You should go to this one, Manny.
Oh no, we'll be it'll be sold out. It'll be sold out because of the Collingwood supporters and the Collingwood fans.
You won't sell it out. What do you reckon? What do you reckon you'll get?
You get about 45,000.
I don't know. Sunday afternoon. Anyway, whatever the total is, -1 because you won't be there. What do you reckon about this game?
Well, look, you can't take anything away from West Coast because they put up a really good fight against a very good Essendon team. So I can't even keep my fucking straight face.
Cocky, yeah? Cocky.
Collingwood by 10 goals.
Collingwood are travelling this week. They are too, yeah.
So where's the game played at?
Marvel.
I'll tell you what, mate. This was just about a flip of the coin, mate, if it's at Marvel.
Because now they're a really good side, aren't they, Mark? West Coast are really good side.
I reckon I'll give them a run at Marvel. If it was at the MCG.
Well, they're picking.
So I think Collingwood just by 10 points.
All right. And then the last game, Adelaide v Brisbane.
Yeah,
it's I don't know. Brisbane is starting to convince me they might be on their way back now. But was it Brisbane on the weekend? They copped a bunch of injuries too. It wasn't it?
They got heaps of injuries, but they got 2 ACLs, and they at one stage they had no one on the bench.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough traveling to Adelaide. Adelaide are just due to win a game like this as well. So only because it's at Adelaide Oval, I'm going to tip the Crows. But
I'm thinking Adelaide too. Manny,
flip of the coin for me.
You got the toss of the coin. Go for it.
All right, so it's tails. So it's Brisbane for me.
All right, very good. All right, let's have a look at this. Look at that. Mark's hit the front by 2. Rocco on 46, Manny on 45, so it's very close. And can I just say, Quinn, how many did you get this week?
I think I'm work tipping. I think I got 2, but I'm pretty sure I got 1 here.
You got 1.
Yeah.
I got 3. I didn't do any better.
I'll say this, Rock. 4 years ago, 5-6 years ago, tipping with my heart actually got me somewhere because we were winning games of footy. Doing it now, it's a guaranteed loss every week.
It's hard to go against your team, man. I'd rather lose the tip than go against them. But yeah, no, you did terrible last week, man. And Mark got 7.
That's the worst I've ever got was 1. The worst I've ever got was 1. But as well, the 2 times I've tipped against Richmond, I'd have to have a look. The 2 times I've tipped against Richmond ever was last year. We played Geelong and we ended up rolling them. And I tipped against them once this year against Sydney at the G and we ended up rolling them. So I can't tip against them anymore.
You got St Kilda, but you got every other one wrong, man. You even went for the Suns would be the Lions. You went for that. You went all over the place, man. Anyway, all right.
Look,
everyone.
Marco knows his footy. Marco knows his footy. The only problem is he barracks for a shit team. That's the only thing.
No, he does. He barracks for he barracks for a scarf waving, beating fucking.
Who was there? Who was your coach? He used to wave the jacket around.
1 minute they're hopeless. 1 minute West Coast hopeless. Next minute they're fucking geniuses. He talks about stats, but then no one else goes, you are just a flip-flopper. Listen, I'm dying here, right? But you blokes have made it worse for me. But you want to have a little bit of comic relief just for 5 minutes?
Yeah, let's do it.
Everyone, just have a look at this.
All right, guys. After that disgraceful loss over the weekend, I thought I'd come down to Smith Street, Collingwood. As you can see, the streets are a bit empty, just like their brains. But let's go and have a look what the folk have got to say.
Oh, g'day, Rocco. Welcome to Collingwood, mate. since you're in the suburb of Collingwood, I might take a little bit of time just to take you through the paths of Collingwood, mate, introduce you to some of the locals, and maybe get to meet the real personalities of Collingwood.
Far out. This is going to be fun.
I have, you're right, because I've been supporting them since they were called plain Footscray.
Sure, I love it. I love it. Nah, they won't run over me. They know me. All right, here we go. There's going to be a new footy team called the Devils, I think they're called, are they? Are they called the Devils? The Devils, and they're going to build this
in Tasmania.
In Tasmania.
Dusty, 100% Dusty's. Still, like there hasn't been a player like him.
Well, I reckon I've been getting hairy around the chest area. I might have to go and get myself a bit of a clean-up. Sharp little bit of waxing, I think.
What year was it?
My cousin, he begs for Carlton. He's there crying every day now. He makes up his name, but he's crying. Bloody no good, this and that. Hey.
Who's your favourite player of all time from North?
All time? Has to be the king, Carey.
Classic Joe, what can you tell me, my friend? I'm here with my mate Rocco's Carlton. What can you say?
About Rocco?
Well, you can say anything about Rocco.
He's just changed his team, mate.
There you go. There's another Bombers victim, a young bloke who hasn't had a chance to watch his team play finals football.
I'm over the grand final still. I don't want to talk about it.
Family's St Kilda.
Sorry.
A shout out to, well, don't apologise to me.
Mate, look, if we go back to back, I've already got a back piece on. 23-24, Pendles right in the middle, tattooed straight on my back.
Just found another Carlton player. Our bunnies. 2 metre Peter.
He's got the X factor, but
What about St Kilda? This coach of yours, mate. They reckon he plays boring football.
does he play football at all?
You know,
40 years a member, that's commitment. That is nothing but commitment. Fantastic club to support.
That's 41 more years than you, Manny.
Oh, there you go.
we'll get in. Yeah, we'll be in the top 8 definitely, but it'll be a hard battle. It'll be a hard battle between Melbourne, Geelong, Carlton. It'll be. But
Let's go. What was your name?
Marty,
and you?
Jason.
Jason. Let's talk business now, because we were talking. Manny was trying to do the interview there. He's got about 3 brain cells between you, right? Let's tell me
We're
something.
fighting for the
no,
three.
I want to know. It's a bit out of place. Smile Dental in Collingwood.
Doesn't even speak English.
You know why soccer's got chance? Because it's boring as.
Hey, everyone who's anybody, please watch The Jumper Punch.
You know, like like my first wife, I want to marry her again so I can get back half of my money.
And I hope it's another 365 days without a final. Thank you very much, Enzo.
Goodbye, Carlton.
Yeah.
And don't forget,
Go the Bombers.
Wow Records, Smith Street, Collingwood.
Thank you, mate.
I want to say
LeBron or Jordan?
Jordan. Come on, man. Jordan.
Thank you.
Jordan.
These bloody young people with LeBron.
LeBron's
Not even a chance.
Come on, mate.
You wouldn't believe this. I've just seen the Essendon football team. Yep, they're all in Chemist Warehouse getting their supplements.
Either of them. I'm Iraqi.
Oh, yeah. Same. You got the cash underneath the bed, huh? You don't give it to
Safe
the
deposit
government.
box. Safe
Don't
deposit
give it
box.
to the bloody government, man. Don't give it to
brother.
man. Here we go. Peace. Look at this. Hey.
We started the job. We used to call her Drop Dacky Jackie. She used to just drop her ducks down there and do her thing.
No.
Yeah, man.
If you think you're going bad, come to Smith Street, Collingwood. You're doing really well.
Okay, Smith Street, Collingwood. We've just found a couple of Buddhas who can predict the future. The question is, will Carlton or can Carlton win the 2024 Premiership flag?
We are the Navy Blues. We are the old darker Navy Blues. We're the team. There you go.
That's why your voice
guys.
is fucked, Rock.
Hey,
That's why your voice is fucked tonight.
I know, man. we had a big day there, but it was good. Thanks to Manny for coming out, and we went down to Smith Street, Collingwood, and we had a bit of fun. So make sure everyone catches that. That was on today. So make sure you catch the full version of it. Plenty. You know what was surprised? There was a fucking few Essendon supporters. What do you reckon, Manny?
There was a lot of Essendon supporters, but if you reckon you're having a bad day, just take the time to go out to Smith Street, Collingwood. Just spend half a day out there, and I can tell you right now, you'll think to yourself, you know what? My life's a lot better because we saw a lot of things that we couldn't even put on the show.
No, there's fucking heaps going on there, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, that dude at the start, the old bloke, he did spit on me when he was talking, mate, but he was 91 years old, so let's give him a bit of everything. And then, yeah, you're right, this bloody lady, hope that lady wasn't talking about the Tassie Devils. That's exactly what she was talking about. First of all, I'll tell you what happened. We're just standing there and we're about to do like the intro. I'm just setting up the intro. She go, oh, what are you doing there and that? You know, how do you follow? No, not really. And we just go, just come on, just talk about anything, you know. Oh, from Tassie, oh, yeah, we can talk about that. She didn't want to come on. Then she spoke for 15 minutes about the stadium, politics. She just went on and on and on. So it was a bit of fun at the end. So we caught that. And, yeah, we had the two blokes at the end, the two workers at the end, the Saints and the Collingwood supporter. They were good, man. We had fun with them, man. We had some good chat with them. So they were good. Yeah, you're 100% right. That's a bit fucking true, man. I went down there and I've caught something from down there. Who knows what I bloody caught down there? All right, guys, make sure you catch all the shows. Make sure you like and subscribe. Come on, man. Let's get the like button push, man. We had a good audience tonight, man, and there was a few shows going on. So everyone that jumped on, we appreciate it, fellas, man. We love doing this stuff, and we love that you guys comment and that. I hope you've had a good time. Catch up all the shows. If you like, make sure you like and subscribe. Important. Make sure you get on. I want everyone, if they can, donate to the David Rees-Jones, Prada Willie. The link is below. Syndrome. The month of May is for him and his son and for the whole syndrome. The link's below, 15 for 15. It's about the 15 chromosomes. It's a disease that's, when he tells you about it, I can't believe that shit like that happened, you know. So everyone, if they can, whatever you can do. Last week we did the big thing, man. We raised over $1,000 on the show, so we were pretty happy about that. So everyone made $1, $2. Support the great man, you know. Apart from that, get on to Tiger Den. Make sure you support the great man. He comes on, he has to deal with us, man. Like, seriously, like if you think about it, we're these three old farts, and there's Quinny comes along and he's got to try to bloody deal with us. But Quinny, just remember, this is what you turn into. Trust me. This is what you're gonna turn into, angry old man, mate. That's what you're gonna turn into.
It's a nice little glimpse into the future. Every week I jump on here. It's just a nice little taste of what's to come.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Make sure, man, if you need security doors and blinds, Marco, he's a bit of he's missing brain cells when he talks footy. But I'll tell you now, the security doors and blinds, he's top notch, man. He's got a good little business. He goes around the northern suburbs and he does good work. He guarantees it, man. He's been doing it for how long?
Going on 19 years now, guys. So
19 years, man. That says something, man. Hey, so you've been going as long as you've been winning, not winning finals. That is the best. That is the best. You started your business the last time. Now, come on, guys. That's got to be worth a quote. He started his business the last time Essendon won a final. That is fucking gold, mate. You can't write that shit, man. That is the best, mate.
Give us a call. Give us a call. Give
him a call. What's the number?
83394848.
Here it is here, man. 83394848. They do all that, mate. He'll help you out and you get your 10% off too if you mention us. Mate, that is funny, man. You started your business last time you won a final. That is, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you find the date out when you started and the date of your last final? Because if it's on the same week, or I'm gonna die. I'll fucking die, man. If it's the same week, and then I'm gonna blame you for the demise of Essendon, mate.
I think it gets close towards September. I think it's our 20 years in September. So September is finals and grand finals. So it might be a bit of an omen for me. So which is good.
I think you actually have to eventually, if you want to win a final, you might have to like either sell it or pass it on to your kids or something. Get away from it. You're giving them fucking bad vibes there, mate. What are you doing,
terrible.
mate?
That's
That is
terrible.
the best. I can't believe I come up with that stat. 19 years. But anyway, get on there. What else have we got? Oh, and this week we will be putting out the stage show is going to go ahead on the 15th. It's going to be in Reswell. We're going to set up a stage show. You guys are going to be.
Quickly, don't forget we need to see that bet from Manny and Rocco regarding the ocean. So
you know me, man. I'll do it. I couldn't do it this week. I just flat out, and plus I feel like shit. But
okay.
I will. I'll wear me togs, and I'll go swimming. I'll make sure it's nice and early, so I get more sick. So we'll definitely do that.
A bet is a bet. A bet is a bet, eh, Quinn?
Yeah, even though it took you even though it took you bloody how long? We know it's a bet. You know why we know it's a bet? You know why we know it's a bet? Because
we're from Tigerland. A fighting fury, we're from Tigerland. If anywhere you'll see us with the grin, risking head and chin. Behind it, never mind, we'll fight a win. We're from Tigerland. We'll never wake until the final siren's gone. Like the Tigers of gold, we're all gospel walls, and we're from Tiger, yellow and black, Tigerland. All right.
That's
fantastic, right? Yellow and black. All right. Is there anything else before we say goodbye?
Hot pies.
Hot pies.
That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll be back, mate. We'll be back to where we belong, mate. Tigers, unfortunately, just keep doing the same thing this week. You don't change, Quinn, all right? You just keep doing the same thing, right? You don't worry about it. Just keep doing what you've been doing. You don't change.
Yeah.
You'll probably win because you're bloody playing thing, but you're gone this week. Your demise is about to happen, and our rise is about to happen this week. So let's get ready. 1, 2, 3, go.
Pies.
Blues.
Canada Dons.
Oh, God.